Sports.
It's a beautiful evening in Kansas City where we come to you from Kauffman Stadium for the first of a 4-game series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Physiak. This is Rex Hudler. It has been a rough first week for Kansas City, being swept by Cleveland, then being swept by Detroit. Rex, maybe they needed yesterday as a day off just to recharge their batteries.
Couldn't have come at a more important time. Whether you're a more mature player or the youngest team in baseball like the Royals, take that off day, go out and get you an apartment, take a chill pill, and get away from the game. It will be a good day today, I guarantee you.
How about our Kia report? It's about the starting pitcher, Luke Hochevar. What are his keys for success?
Make those hitters uncomfortable. Use that hard mid-90s fastball. Come inside. Undress a few of them. Secondary pitches and fastball counts, that's called keeping them off balance. And also pitch with conviction. Every ball that leaves your hands better have a game plan. With conviction, do it.
It's Hochevar against Kyle Drabek. The Jays against the Royals, and it comes your way next on Fox Sports Kansas City. Royals baseball is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. When you play, students win. And by your Kansas City Chevy dealers, the official vehicle of the Kansas City Royals. Joe Goldberg will be with us when we come back.
Stadium. Our Mazda replay flashes back to last August 24th in Toronto. Jose Bautista going deep against Luke Hochevar. He would admire that home run too, and that presents potentially an interesting storyline. I'm Joe Goldberg out here in right field. We've seen the Royals clear the bench 3 times so far this year. Could it happen again? Hochevar's back was to Bautista when Bautista ran down to first base and stared at Hochevar the whole time. Hoch didn't find out about it until after. Will he want to do something about that tonight? He certainly hasn't forgotten, but of course he's got baseball on his mind too, staying healthy and getting a win. We will keep an eye on it. Coming up next, Steve and Rex with the call of the game.
To you in high definition by Time Warner Cable, the official TV, internet, and home phone provider of the Kansas City Royals. It's a clear, cool Friday evening in the Midwest for Game 1 of a 4-game series between the Toronto Blue Jays and Kansas City Royals. John Farrell is the skipper for the Blue Jays, who came in at 6-6. Let's check out the starting lineup that he will show. Escobar will lead things off, to be followed by Kelly Johnson, Jose Bautista, and Adam Lind. Edwin Encarnacion has had the best start, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. Eric Thames, and watch out for Brett Laurie. He's a little like Eric Hosmer. They love his future, 22 years old, and he will be facing this man, Luke Hochevar, who in 5 starts against the Blue Jays has a record of 3-1 and a 3.41 earned run average. So he's been able to keep the Jays quiet in his tenure in Kansas City. And here is Yunel Escobar, now 29 years of age, out of Cuba. He's one of the best friends of the Royals, Brian Pena, and he takes strike 1.
Blue Jays will be seeing what Ned Yost hopes is a fresh Luke Hochevar on 6 days rest. Good 2 and 4 seam fastball. He'll cut it a little bit. He's got a changeup and a curve. He'll work them all, and hopefully he gets a chance to work them all for about 6 or 7, 8 innings tonight. That's what Dave Island would love to see.
There's a chopper right back at Luke, and he will make the play and record the out. Let's check out the Royals defense, brought to you by Ford Around the Horn.
Okay, you're not going to find many happier guys than that guy right there. Okay, he loves playing center field, going side to side. You got Escobar at short, a good hands guy with a tremendous throwing arm. Hochevar's going to be throwing to Humberto Quintero tonight, and hoping that he can be able to mix and match with these Blue Jays, keep them off the board, and allow the offense to score enough runs to win. Isn't that how they do it? You got to score more than the other team.
Exactly.
Get a W.
And Toronto has been a much more productive offensive team than has Kansas City. They've scored 60 runs in 12 games. The Royals just 45. Hochevar drops in a breaking ball at 86 miles an hour. And the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Luke in his last start gave up 7 runs in the first inning of the home opener, then shut out Cleveland the next 3. That ball is popped up, foul territory. Mike Moustakas is there for out number 2. Then he shut out Cleveland for 3 before Carlos Santana drilled a line drive off Hochevar's ankle. Let's go back to Friday, and that's what forced him to miss his Wednesday start.
It did, and it hurt, and no question about it. But fortunately, the ball bounced right back to Hosmer. Get the out, but the tremendous training staff you see there of Head. Okay, and right away, if there's any question if his foot's bothering him, it's answered there. Looked pretty good. Head athletic trainers Nick Kinney and assistant Kyle Turner doing a nice job getting him back out there on the slab.
Jose Bautista looking for a fastball on the first pitch, did not get it. So now Hoch throws the fastball and barely misses outside at 93 miles an hour, evening the count at 1-1. Joel Goldberg told you about the history between Hochevar and Bautista. And we are hoping that is something that's in the past. Kansas City trying to end a 7-game losing streak tonight. Fastball comes inside, 2-1.
Bautista, he's up there to do one thing, turn and burn. He can hit some homers. He's not looking to doink one over the shortstop's head. Ooh.
He hit Bautista. And a stare from Jose and Luke walking halfway down towards home plate. Well, if there was a time to do it, Rex, I would imagine it is now, because it's the first inning, 2 outs, nobody on, and that's the payback. And let's just hope it ends right here.
Yep, I think Ned Yost has seen enough of these little bench clearing incidents. But, you know, all Hochevar has to say is it just slipped a little bit. But I think the home run that Bautista hit last year, as he looked at Hochevar knowing immediately that ball was out, in a nice slow trot. Sometimes pitchers don't like that. And you know, I'm not saying that it was intentional, just this past the past hit by pitch there. But like I said, Hochevar, all he's got to do is just say it slipped. And when you get hit in the wallet, that's the most padding and the best place a hitter can get hit.
Bautista is the first player Hochevar has ever hit twice in his career. Scoreless ball game, top of the first inning. Kansas City and Toronto, game 1 of this 4-game series. And the pitch to Adam Lind is fouled off the left side. Our time and temperature 59 degrees on a cool Friday night at 7:10. It's brought to you by the Parking Spot.
Okay, it's going to be important for Lind to have a good season offensively behind Bautista. If he doesn't, then Bautista is going to get some balls and intentionally passes.
He's going. The throw to second base is not in time, and that's the way you pay him back if you're an opponent, by stealing a base and getting into scoring position. That is his first steal of the year.
You can see he had a pretty good jump, put his head down, he's stealing all the way. Hochevar has a nice slide step when he uses it. And he'll change his holds a little bit as Bautista gets in there. But with 2 outs, some teams, especially the Blue Jays, who are a little bit more aggressive this season than they have been in the past, they'll need to. They don't have quite as much power, but he gets in there at the right time.
And a terrific catch by Ryan Lefevre tonight in the radio booth. So I'm in the radio booth, you catch a line drive, now I move to the TV booth, and Ryan Lefevre makes a terrific catch.
He cradled that in nicely. Now, I don't know if
you would be able to make that play. Do you think you had those skills?
No, because you've knocked me down for 11 years going after foul balls. Here's Hochevar focusing on Lind.
Okay, now Quintero held that ball a little too long for home plate umpire Eric Cooper, and Eric Cooper's having a discussion with him right now. Okay, this ball looked like it's a little out, but he's holding it there. Okay, and he's still holding it, and Eric Cooper says, look, don't show me up. See, don't do that.
You are so right. Eric Cooper behind home plate. Marty Foster's at first. Tim Timmons at second. Jeff Kellogg at third. Here's the pitch, and it is pulled foul right side. Hochevar wants to focus right now on Adam Lind, who is a dangerous RBI guy. Knocked in 87 runs last year, and as you talked about, Bautista needs protection from the middle of the order, and that means Adam Lind. He only hit 251 last year. That was a concern. It looks like Jose is having some problems with his pants. Called time for a moment. Tim Timmons gave it to him. Blue Jays came in at 6-6, a game and a half back of first place Baltimore in the East, but they have lost 2 in a row. Bautista going. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Lind is gone. A fine first inning for Luke Hochevar. Encourage his young Royals, despite the fact that they're experiencing a 7-game losing streak. His lineup will be much the same, with Alex Gordon leading things off, then Betancourt and Hosmer. Billy Butler has been incredibly hot, batting .455 during his 8-game hit streak. Then Francoeur, Moustakas, Quintero, Meyer, and Escobar. On the hill, Kyle Drabek, the 24-year-old right-hander from Victoria, Texas. You faced his dad.
This young man has a chance to have a nice career like his father. I'm not going to say he's going to be Cy Young like his father, but his keys are don't overthrow. He has a tendency at times to do that. Control his emotions. He's a high-strung guy. Maintain that same arm slot, and he's doing all that now. It's because he's going pretty good so far. He's learned how to control those emotions some, but he really wants to try to stay within himself if he can. He's got some pretty good pitches, though. He's got a 88 to 94 fastball. He'll 2-seam it. He's got a 4-seamer. He'll get up in the strike zone. He's got a little bit of a power curveball and a changeup.
Kyle Drabek facing Alex Gordon, who has been working overtime to get his stroke down. He was hitting the ball so well in spring training, and then came out of the gate with an 0 for 18. But he and Kevin Seitz are spending a lot of extra time. They had extra early batting practice today at 2 o'clock. The 0-2 pitch is a fastball that he overthrew at 94 miles an hour, and he can muscle it up to 94. But they say he's better with the 2-seam, about 89 to 91.
Yeah, that was a purpose pitch there to get him to swing and miss. And then he comes with that nice little curveball, spike curve they call it. Some guys have one finger up on it and they call that a spike curve. Pretty good changeup. He has some pretty good tempo, and he's a guy that works fairly quick. But there's not anyone associated with the Royals down on the field that are concerned about Alex Gordon. He's a good athlete. Everybody down there understands it takes a little bit of time to try to find yourself, and when you get some hits, start getting confident.
A one hopper to the shortstop. Escobar throws out Alex. One out. Blue Jays defensively, brought to you by Ford. Around the horn.
All right, Colby Rasmus up there in center field. He's fairly new. He's been a little bit of time with him last year. He has good coverage. Kelly Johnson and Yunel Escobar, they got pretty good double play combination there.
Aaron Sebia tonight is catching Kyle Drabek. Kyle in his first start beat Boston, allowing 1 run in 5 1/3. He came back with an even better performance 5 days later when he beat Baltimore and allowed just 1 earned run in 7 1/3. So he comes in with a sparkling ERA of 1.42. Now facing Yuniesky Betancourt. Ground ball struck to third. Nice play by Laurie. The rookie throws out Betancourt at first base. Lind used to be an outfielder for Toronto. Now they've moved him to first base. This is a very different infield than years ago, with Johnson at second, Escobar at short, and Laurie at third.
Well, Hosmer, he's 2 for 2 with a walk in his young career against Drabek. And Drabek kind of pulled the string on him on first pitch, thinking maybe Hosmer might do just that, take a rip.
You can see Eric's numbers after a fantastic spring where he hit .398 at batting average at .167. He had a terrific start in the first 3 games in Anaheim, but struggled a little bit on this homestand. 3 hits in 23 at bats. Very strong career numbers against the Blue Jays. Eric still just 22, the same age as the very talented Brett Laurie. Plays third base for Toronto. They play Hosmer dramatically on the infield to pull the ball. There's a soft one away from Eric. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Okay, you see Laurie and Escobar right over there on that side. Now there's a lot of holes in between there. Anywhere he wants to go ahead and get him a lousy single, he can. Now that's really what Seitzer would like to see him. You get the singles, the walks, you see more pitches, and the home run ball comes.
Well, just like Toronto's top of the first, when Hochevar got the first 2 batters out, the third one reaches. Only Hochevar hit Bautista, and Drabek worked around Hosmer by walking him, and now facing the hottest Royal and Billy Butler. Here's our Toyota League leaders, and there's Billy Butler, the longest active American League hitting streaks. Albert Pujols with 9 for the Angels. Willingham has 13 straight and hitting .340 in that span. Strike 1.
Yeah, look, all those guys are premier names in the game. Reimold's a little bit newer, but you know, to have a streak like that takes a pretty good idea. A little bit of luck.
Willingham has hit in every single game his team has played in this year. Butler takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is a different Kyle Drabek, Rex, because Kyle was very emotional last year and had very poor numbers in both AAA and the major leagues. He had an ERA of 7.5 in AAA and over 6 in the big leagues. They said he always had the stuff. He had to keep his emotions in check. And they've seen that this year, but he's low to Billy Butler, 2-1.
Well, he's understanding that what we've been hearing Ned Yost talk about his younger players is less is more. He's turning into a pitcher now, not a thrower, and really pretty quickly. I mean, it takes some guys like Danny Duffy a year or 2 before they kind of get an idea, but Drabek in his second year is starting to get it.
Butler hits it to Laurie. Brett goes to second base to get the force there. We head to the second inning looking for our first run. And Royals come out of the ballpark tomorrow to get a giveaway that is a blast from the past. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Royals 80s retro batting practice jersey presented by Fox Sports Kansas City. For tickets, go to Royals.com/promotions or call 1-800-6-ROYALS. Top of the second, Edwin Encarnacion, the batter, and he has had the hottest start of any Blue Jay. 15 hits, and 8 of those have been for extra bases. That's why he's slugging .580. And he takes his strike, 1-1. Luke Hochevar's very first major league win was against the Blue Jays, April 26, 2008. He has won 3 and lost just 1 against this team. And there's a swing and a line smash that is taken care of by Moustakas. What a play!
Well, he loves making those plays for his pitchers, but he loves even more the sound of this Kauffman Stadium crowd saying moose. That was a beauty. He's right at the end of his glove, gets up, takes his time. Ball was smashed so hard he had a little more time, and that was nice.
Now Eric Thames. You know, it was interesting just the other day, Wednesday, I came early to the ballpark. Who was out here? Eddie Rodriguez, the Royals third base coach, hitting ground ball after ground ball to Mike Moustakas, who was getting extra work at third base. And Moustakas, when he was drafted, they said above average offensively, below average defensively. He has made himself an excellent third baseman. And Ned Yost said he wants to be good, and when you have a great athlete who wants to be good and works at it, he's going to be successful. Well, Thames takes a called strike 3 and argues with Eric Cooper, the home plate umpire, but Hochevar gets a quick second out in the second inning.
I like to see how Luke's using the inside parts of the plate. That was a nice located spot that he was frozen.
He throws that two-seam fastball as if it looks like a ball, but then snaps back into the strike zone. That's why Thames had an argument.
It's because he's got a little movement on there at the end. I like to call that hair. He's got a little hair on that one.
The one pitch. I remember talking with Bartolo Colon, who is a pitcher for the Oakland Athletics now, and Colon said he would actually aim the two-seam fastball at the left-hander's hip and just let it come back into the zone, and it would move about 8 to 10 inches.
And that'll fool you. If you're a hitter, it'll lock you up, so you won't swing. But speaking of Bartolo, he threw 38 strikes in a row against the Angels, his former team.
That's unbelievable. 38 in a row.
I had a hard time believing that too. But so far, Hochevar, he's going after these guys.
Misses here. The count moves to 3-1 on Brett Lawrie. A lot of people have been talking about this young man. Brett, just 22 years old, from Langley, British Columbia. He was the first-round pick of the Milwaukee Brewers, but traded to Toronto for Sean Markham. Here's the swing and a foul back right side. Lawrie actually is the highest drafted position player out of Canada. 16th overall pick by Milwaukee, and then of course traded to Toronto, and they have made him a starter immediately at third. A swing and a miss, and Hochevar has 3 Ks in the first 2 innings. Good start for Luke. Stockis defense helps him out.
Radio booth with Gold Glover Ryan Lefevre. How about that? You come over to the radio booth, get away from the TV guys, and you still get on camera.
I think it had something to do with the fact that I didn't have to wear a tie tonight. I was a little more nimble and able to get into a good fielding position.
Look at that.
Put against my body. And I immediately looked up to make sure that the guys in the TV booth saw it.
That was like a Jose Bautista stare.
Not bad, huh? That wasn't bad in the top of the first inning. But
thinking Rex might come back and plunk you.
It's a pleasure to be on the show with you here, Joel. By the way, I just been a big fan of yours. I've been watching you for years on television. In fact, I grew up watching you on television before you had gray hair.
Yeah, that's been there forever, I think. I'm a fan of yours on radio, too. Long-time listener, first-time caller. All right, anyway, that was a nice catch. You got to deliver there, because if you don't deliver, we're showing it over and over again.
Well, one of the first things I learned when I came here was the Denny Matthews trajectory rule, and that is if the ball is still going up, you stay away from it. If it's starting to come back down, you go for it. And that one was just starting to turn over and come down, so I thought I'd go for it. Either way, it was going to hit me.
I've been informed by the truck that that's an early nominee for our Miller time play.
All right. Why don't we get back to the game?
Oh, yeah, by the way, back to the game. We'll let you, do you work over here?
A few innings here and there.
We'll let you prepare for whenever you're going to work, and we'll go back to the guys that are working, Fizz and Rex.
Thank you very much, Joel, and Gold Glove Ryan Lefevre. Jeff Francoeur struck out. Now Mike Moustakas, the batter. He has a 1-0 count, working Kyle Drabeck, who started well, retiring 4 of the first 5 batters that he's faced, and now he falls behind Mike Moustakas, 2 balls and no strikes. This is the first time that Mike has ever faced Kyle. Drabeck came up halfway through the season last year with Toronto. Fouled off. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
So even on a cool night, that looks good.
The 2-1 is swung on. Hit well, right field, and look at this. It's gone, and the Kansas City Royals have a 1-0 lead.
Not only does he hear his name on defense, but when he swings the bat like he's capable on occasions like that, he hears the big booms as he kept his lower half intact, kept it tucked in, closed. Pitch was on the outer half too, wasn't a middle in pitch. He reached out and barreled that. As Batista looked and he stopped and said, you know what, I'm running out of room. That's a homer.
Good start for Kansas City. Hochevar pitching well first 2 innings, and Moustakas hits his 4th career home run at Kauffman Stadium. Humberto Quintero now the batter. He fouls it back to the screen.
That'll make Moose feel pretty good. Hit that ball 378 feet, but he could have just scraped the back of the fence. As long as he got his pitcher Luke a 1-run lead, that's perfect. He's happy.
They robbed Encarnacion of that base hit back in the 2nd, and then this bottom half of the inning goes deep. Quintero's had a hot start to the year, hitting .381.
Mainly it's because he has such a short swing, and you know you don't have a lot of room for error when you're not looping your swing or have a long stride, long pass at the ball. He just takes his hands and keeps it simple and goes right to it. Likes to shoot a lot of his hits to the middle and to the right side. When you keep the hitting approach as simple as possible, that's the best way, because it's difficult. Keep it simple.
Good breaking ball, swung through and missed. That is strikeout number 2 in the game for Kyle Drabek. Two outs for Mitch Meyer. Mitch hitting .250. He has 1 home run. That was against the Oakland Athletics. Kansas City trying to snap that 7-game losing streak that started more than a week ago in the final game against the Oakland A's when they lost in 12 innings. Then they were swept by Cleveland, swept by Detroit, and they only scored 6 runs in the last 3 games in that Tiger series. Strike makes it 1-1. They shade Meyer a bit to pull on the infield. To the left, barely in the outfield.
Well, it's going to help Mitch to continue to get his playing time. He's going to be a lot more relaxed. You can just tell by the way he took that last pitch. He's not jumping, keeping a quiet lower half.
3 balls and 1 strike. He's in there because of the injury to Lorenzo Cain, but Cain moving very well today in both batting practice, fielding practice, and he very likely could go out for a rehab assignment as soon as tomorrow to Northwest Arkansas. And Meyer takes ball 4. So a pair of walks already in this contest by Kyle Drabek. Fans, Saturday, April 28 is no fee day. Purchase tickets for any Royals home game on that day and all fees will be waived. This applies for only Royals online and phone purchases and includes the upcoming series with the Yankees and the Red Sox. Go to Royals.com or call 1-800-6-ROYALS on April 28th for no fee Saturday. These are the final 4 games of this long 10-game homestand. Royals head out on the road on Tuesday to face the Indians Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Then are in Minnesota for 3 and then Detroit for 3 before coming back to the K to face the Yankees and the Red Sox. Matter of fact, in Boston today, they were celebrating the 100th anniversary of Fenway Park. Fantastic celebration. Alcides Escobar is the batter. He hit his first home run of the year off Max Scherzer, the Detroit starter, on Wednesday. 380-foot shot into the Royals bullpen.
They're making Drabek throw some pitches here. This is good. They're seeing a lot of them, taking more for their at-bats later in the game.
Rex, that's a good point because the Royals did come in the American League. They're dead last in walks, just 28th this year. Toronto is 4th with 43. So you're talking about seeing more pitches and maybe getting Drabek's pitch count up considerably by the 5th, 6th inning because Toronto does not have a superior bullpen. Escobar tried to check his swing, but he went.
And you know, in your first at bats, first time around, and this will be Escobar's first. He's the 9th batter tonight. It helps you for your next time up, and then it helps tax his pitch count, get a little bit deeper. Maybe they can get in that pin, but there's a big advantage to being a little more selective and patient.
Meyer does not go. The pitch is fouled back to the screen. It stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, Escobar, ideally, he's a good number 2 hitter. Now, Ned Yost, he has the luxury of having 2 or 3 different guys that could hit in that number 2 spot. But, you know, in order to be a good number 2 hitter, you want to be able to shoot that ball to the right side a lot, hit behind the runners. And he does that. He has the tendency to wait longer till the ball gets back towards the catcher's glove, deep in the zone, and go ahead and stroke it to right.
Pulled off that one, swings and misses and strikes out. That's the 3rd strikeout, all 3 in the 2nd inning. But Mike Moustakas in between goes deep.
Pilot to Bombardier.
Home run. Get downloads up to 50 megabits per second with Time Warner Cable Ultimate Internet. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler. We're now joined by Clint Boyer, who knows something about speed. We're talking about throwing a good fastball. You roared down the track at about how many miles an hour?
Well, it's about 200 mile an hour out here in Kansas. Fun racetrack. You know, obviously me being from Kansas is an important race for me. Running well here in front of the hometown family and friends and everybody that supports us out here. So it's always interesting every time we come back to Kansas. There's always something new for us out there. The casino off the turn 2 is certainly the next new thing for us out at the racetrack. But for tonight, it's been a lot of fun to be here at the Royals game. Throughout the first pitch was really cool. A lot of pressure. That's a tremendous amount of pressure.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's watching you, making sure you throw it correctly.
Yeah, Clint, so you're not just wearing that Royals hat because they put it on you. You're an actual Royals fan.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Growing up from Emporia, we came to, as a kid, going to the Royals games, going over the Chiefs game to Arrowhead. Just, love the sporting complex they have here, and it's always a lot of fun.
Right now, Colby Rasmus is the batter. Luke Hochevar delivers, and a swing and a miss, and down goes Rasmus, and that's 3 strikeouts in a row. And as we take a look at your superlatives in the past, I've got to ask you, you grew up a Royals and Chiefs fan, but what got you into racing?
Well, we grew up, racing motocross, actually, until I was about 16 years old. Started racing cars, switching from two wheels to 4 wheels, and just been racing ever since. Raced a lot out at Lakeside Speedway. That was kind of my home track, just a few miles up the road from Kansas Speedway there. And just a lot of memories racing around here. I used to race at I-70 on asphalt out here, and just had a lot of fun, met a lot of good people.
Did your mom and dad get you into the
Yeah, absolutely. My father owned a towing service in Emporia there, and so I've always been around cars.
Clint, you got to answer this question for me. You're going to serve as an MRN Radio in-race reporter on Sunday. Now, if you're racing in the race, how are you going to be an in-race reporter?
Well, that's kind of, you guys are, you're in a game here and you're reporting on it. I guess it's the same way. Usually they keep it in between, the cautions or before the race there. You kind of give them some insight of what's fixing to happen and things like that. Thank God they don't, while you're racing door to door with somebody, come on there and ask you, so what you got going on today there, Clint?
Right, but see, you're in the car now. Fizz and I are up here. We're not down on the field playing and telling the fans what we're thinking now. See, so you're in the car. To me, that's interesting. Now, it wouldn't be when you're in full bore 200 miles an hour, though, right?
No, it's actually, like I said, it's under caution or before the race. But I tell you, you say you're not in the game. That ball, fly ball, was it in this booth? Or
Ryan Lefevre caught it in the radio booth.
Right next to you. So
no, we get in the game once in a while.
Yeah, you're definitely in the game here.
I have never caught one only because he shoves me out of the way and catches every single foul ball that comes up into the booth. There's Ryan Lefevre, who's right next to us with Denny Matthews.
That's a heck of a catch.
That ball is stroked well, but foul left side as Toronto trails 1-0. You grew up 120 miles from this ballpark. How many times would you come up here in the summer and come up with friends?
Well, unfortunately for us, being a stick and ball fan as we are, racing is always during the summertime, so it's tough to get up here. But we usually came as kids, 2 or 3 times a year. Our parents would bring us up and just enjoy it. Everybody's proud of where they came from, the Royals and the Chiefs both. I'm a very proud fan of both.
Clint, it's a big year this year for Kansas City, not only on the field, but having the All-Star game. Now, is there any chance that you might be able to sneak out here for that great event?
Yeah, we actually talked about it down there. It was a lot of fun to be able to hang out in the dugout with some of the players down there and get to know some of them. It's fun for me to be able to see, like, during sporting events, us racers are all picking fantasy picks and things like that, and it's neat. They were asking me, so who's running well in practice today? Because we need to fill out our fantasy picks for the weekend. So that's cool to see, other athletes doing the same.
Here is the 1-0 pitch, and it catches the outside corner to Escobar, who grounded back to the mound his first time up. Hochevar has struck out 4 straight batters. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. We're visiting with Clint Boyer, who's a Royals fan and obviously one of the great NASCAR racers. But you also have the opportunity to cheer on your Jayhawks. You
Absolutely.
and Michael Waltrip, who's a Kentucky fan, went down for the national championship game.
Note to self, don't ever take a fan of the opposing team with you, because one or the other is going to have a miserable time on the way home. And that was me, unfortunately. I took a Kentucky fan to the national championship with me, and I told him he was going to have to thumb it on the way home. He wasn't riding with me on the way back, but we did have a good time. Proud of the Jayhawks. They went a long ways and battled, hard. A lot of naysayers said that they weren't even going to be in that situation. And being from Kansas, living in North Carolina, to be able to take down both North Carolina boys, that was probably the best bragging rights anybody could ask for.
And then you had to run into Waltrip.
Yeah.
Well, the count is 1-2 Hochevar against Escobar. The pitch is in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, do you have a favorite Royal out there?
I was talking to Ned Yost down there, and what a cool guy. All of his past with Dale Earnhardt Sr. and all the stories that he had. That's my pick. I think he's going to take this young team and do wonders with them and put them back on the map.
He is the perfect manager for them because he's very disciplined. He forces them to be accountable, but he's also very, very encouraging with young players, knowing that probably like a young driver, you're going to go through failure like you did when you first lost to Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's, what a wonderful pick to have for, someone on your side. He's just done a great job, and I think he's going to take this, like I said, this young team. We got to win. We got to win tonight. Hopefully that first pitch that I threw out is going to.
If we win, you can come back anytime
yes,
you want.
That's
You're
right.
The booth,
it's all
always.
about winning, baby.
Hey, Clint, we've seen a couple little incidents on the field, just some bench clearings, no duking or brawling. But now I turn on the speed channel and I see you guys out there having words and going to blows. So is it a similar situation? Although your life's a little bit more on the line than these guys, but still. How do you deal with that?
Well, we have an automobile. I guess they have a bat, but I'd rather be strapped in that automobile with a helmet on than be out there fisticuff or maybe a bat in my hand. So I kind of like our odds better.
Do you have any particular guys you don't care for on the circuit?
Oh, there's always them. I tell you, I thought when we hit that player earlier, he was a pretty big old boy, and he didn't look to be very happy about that. It took him a little while to get down there, and there's a lot of glares, it looked like.
But we're happy that you came up. We appreciate it, but we'd be even more thrilled, all of us, to get a win tonight. So help us bring
That's
that.
Right. Let's both win. Thank you, guys.
Win for you, Clint, this weekend. Clint Boyer, great NASCAR racer. Families at the ballpark. It's a Friday fireworks. They're seeing great fireworks to start things with home runs by Moustakas, and now you also get to choose who you will you vote for your all-star. You can text 432-432 and enter the keyword Royals. We are going with the outfielders tonight. Outfielders and the designated hitter. So go ahead and punch in Gordon Kane, Francoeur, and designated hitter Billy Butler. We head back to the top of the order, and here's Alex Gordon ripping one into the right field corner. He was thinking about going for three, and Eddie Rodriguez wisely held him up.
Well, there's no need to push the envelope all the way to third base if you don't really have to. He's the leadoff batter here. There's nobody out. There's no sense in running to an out, but this ball bounced twice off the wall. 1 and 2. And he saw that. He kind of stumbled a little bit before he got to second and just decided, hey, look, steady as she goes. We don't need any heroes out here. Let's just stay put.
Who is your all-star selection? A, Alex Gordon, B, Lorenzo Cain, C, Jeff Francoeur, or D, Billy Butler? We'll be able to select the infielders tomorrow. Here is Yuniesky Betancourt.
Hey, text 432-432 and enter the keyword Royals. Go ahead and pick them, folks. We've got to get them here for that grand event coming up. I mean, the whole world will be watching. And as beautiful as this yard is, it's a lot to be proud of. People from Kansas City, this is a gorgeous yard.
Betancourt takes low and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Drabek would like to get a strikeout or pop up here, and Betancourt would like to at least get Gordon to third base.
Well, you know, he would. Now, typically you want the guy to shoot him over to the right side, but there's a big hole in that hole there between shortstop and third base that he could hit. Look at this. You could drive a semi-truck, or you could drive Clint Boyer's car through that whole side there. So any way to get him over and in.
3-0 is in danger of walking him with Eric Hosmer coming up next. There is Eric, very encouraged about his game on Wednesday, Rex. Even though he went 0 for 4, his last 3 at-bats were either lineouts or smashes on the ground. So he's seeing the ball better. Betancourt takes ball 4. So the third walk by Kyle Drabek. This was a guy who averaged 6.5 walks per 9 innings last year. Combined season between AAA and the major leagues. Joel Goldberg wants to talk Eric Hosmer.
Well, Fizz, I had a chance to talk to hitting coach Kevin Seitzer today about Hosmer and Gordon. And, of course, we just saw the hit from Gordon. And Seitz said that Gordon was getting really close. Just hadn't had a lot of hittable pitches. In the case of Eric Hosmer, he said real close. Said he smoked 3 balls the other day that didn't necessarily turn into hits. He said he hoped he'd bring that into the off day and come back with it ready to hit today, but feels like it is very close. Steve?
Thank you, Joel. Here's the pitch, and Eric takes a swing at the first pitch, looking for the fastball. This is the second straight at bat. Hosmer has gone after that pitch, and both times Drabek has thrown off speed.
So what he's telling them is that he's trying to yank the ball out of the yard, pull it, when really Hosmer has excellent power to the opposite field, and he doesn't need a homer. He just needs a big hit in a gap somewhere to score those 2 runners out there, and that'll make Hochevar feel better and Hosmer feel better.
Seitzer told us before the game that home runs are a byproduct of a proper swing up the middle.
That's right.
There is Kevin Seitzer, one of the best hitting instructors in the game.
Keep your swing short. They'll come.
The 1-1, and again Hosmer takes a rip at one that was not in the zone, but he did get a fastball that time at 93 miles an hour. The count is 1-2. Drabek wants the strikeout. Hosmer wants to at least be able to advance the runners. And he does foul tip it barely, hitting the catcher, then falling and hitting the dirt, staying alive. But this is a young man who has great potential. He has hit most of his home runs on the road. 18 of his 21 home runs he has hit in his young career have been away from the K.
Well, this is a big yard here, and it's not a run hitter's park. So, but what he's really doing is he's over swinging to try to pull that ball. That's what he's trying to do. But he doesn't really have to do that here. When you're a premier hitter and you're in the 3rd spot, you don't necessarily have to pull them over. With 2 strikes, go ahead and just let your eyes tell your hands where to go if it's a close strike, if it's a ball that's near the plate.
I was watching his batting practice today, and he was raining line drive after line drive over where the shortstop is sitting right there in your picture. So Kevin Seitzer was having him hit to the opposite field. He was doing it beautifully. The 2-2. That ball is ripped to the first baseman for the double play, and they will get the triple play. Wow. An inning that started so promising, and Hosmer can't hit it any harder, but it's an L3-6 triple play. Royals have hit into a double play in 33 years.
Triple play. Out, out, out.
A triple play. And that triple play brought to you by Jeep. First time the Royals have hit into a triple play since 1979 Oakland 5-4-3 triple play. And for the Blue Jays, they did it the same year. The last time that they turned a triple play was against the New York Yankees in 1979. So Eric Hosmer, as Hud would say, you got buzzard's luck. You're hitting too many atom balls. And he hit Adam Lind.
Well, turn the page and move on. But I like what they're doing. I like what Hochevar's doing. He's going out there and pitching his game. He's taking some speed off of his fastballs. He's also mixing up his secondary pitches, taking a little bit off of those.
He's facing Kelly Johnson, then Jose Bautista and Adam Lind. Swing and a miss. Kelly Johnson's been in a cool period. A single yesterday broke an 0 for 14 slide that he had been in. Fastball misses in.
Lynn, he's a guy that uses Kelly Johnson uses the opposite field. And Hochevar's pitching him inside. So obviously the report in the game plan that Hochevar has is that if you throw him middle away, he'll take you that way on the line.
Hochevar does not want to walk the leadoff man, Kelly Johnson. He has walked 6 times this year. He will walk him. Let's go to Jeff Montgomery. You've got to be impressed the way Hochevar has started this game.
Steve, Rex, I really am, and I go back to the second half of last season. Rex, he really did a nice job of working the inside part of the plate last year, and that's what I've seen a lot tonight. He's really had the ability to come in and finish some hitters off. He's climbed a ladder, so I'm seeing the Luke Hochevar that we saw in the second half of last year. Really good things to see from Luke, especially after the line drive knocking him out of his opening day start.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Now we have the matchup that is Luke Hochevar versus Jose Bautista. First time they faced each other since the stare down last year, and Hochevar hit him in the wallet. Bautista stole second base when was about ready to steal third base when Adam Lind struck out to end the inning. In there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Okay, first inning, ball just got a little bit away from him. You know what was good about that is that Bautista went ahead and went to first base. He didn't stop halfway down the line and start saying words with him. That would have emptied the benches again. But he took his base.
Ground ball, short. Escobar goes to second. Terrific play.
Okay, just 1 out for sure on that one. And that's exactly what Escobar did. Takes it, gets in the air to get some leverage, and see that staying on top of that ball when he throws it down there. Same way as a pitcher throwing downhill. Got him, and I'll tell you that any pitcher would like that. Says, all right, way to pick me up here. Got an out. Now let's roll one up.
Roll up a double play as Adam Lind comes to the plate with Bautista at first base. He stole off Hochevar back in inning number 1. Here's the first pitch, a tapper foul. Strike 1. And Bautista, it was personal, Rex. After he ripped off second base, he got a big jump on Hochevar with 2 outs, and quite frankly, I thought it distracted Adam Lind a little bit, who was swinging the bat, and he swung and missed and struck out, ending the inning.
Well, that will do that. It will distract the hitter whenever a guy takes off, especially with 2 strikes. You know, you only have a split second to decide when the pitch is coming, so it was good for Luke.
Lind fouls it back to the screen, so Hochevar has the count his way. 0-2. Ned Yost also has options, with Bautista being very aggressive. He could pitch out, so that's got to be in the back of the mind of the base runner at first base.
You know, he stole with 2 outs last time just to get into scoring position. I would doubt that he would go, although he could, but to strike him out, throw him out is a possibility here. Hochevar has quick feet, and he gives different looks over there when he throws over, and sometimes that's good enough just to hold the runner.
Popped him up. Mitch Meyer. It's that twilight time. Sometimes you'll see a gray ceiling. I'm talking about the gray sky where it's difficult to pick the baseball out. But Meyer picked that one up perfectly and was able to record out number 2. Now the batter, Edwin Encarnacion, who was robbed of a hit in a fantastic play by Mike Moustakas back in inning number 2. Encarnacion ripped a shot. It looked like a base hit, but Moustakas dove, speared it, and threw him out.
Yep. Let's take a look at Moose with his fancy glove work. Ball was by him, and Encarnacion thought he had him a base hit. And he is one of their hotter hitters. He's made some improvements over the spring. Last year he would swing through the zone and take one hand off the bat, and he had a long follow through, so therefore his swing was long and loopy. This year they have both hands on the bat the whole way through the swing, which keeps it a little bit tighter and a little more compact, and he's having some success.
Royals play him to pull on the infield. He skies one in the air, left center field. Either Gordon or Meyer. Mitch calling off Alex makes the catch, and Hochevar works around the leadoff walk. By Panera Bread, 23 locations coming soon to Brookside. Visit us online at PaneraKansas.com. And by AT&T, the world's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Kyle Drabek back on the hill. He was helped out by his defense, turning the first triple play in 33 years for the Toronto Blue Jays. Now Billy Butler, the batter, and he takes a strike. Count moves to 1 ball, 1 strike. Drabek has thrown 54 pitches. Hochevar just 63 in his 4 innings of work. Drabek just starting the 4th. 2 balls and 1 strike. Drabek, like Butler, a former first-round pick. The Philadelphia Phillies chose Drabek first round 2006 out of the Woodlands High School near Houston. He is the youngest son of Cy Young winner Doug Drabek, who won 155 games in 13 major league seasons. Butler hits it hard, but grounds out to short. Join us on Saturday, May 5th, as we commemorate a signature moment in Royals history as the Royals take on the Yankees. The first 10,000 fans will receive a George Brett mini pine tar bat presented by the University of Kansas Hospital. Go to Royals.com or call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. Come out for Pine Tar Night. And that was one of the greatest moments, really, in baseball and Royals history. Because you could see George Brett in that dugout. If they take my home run away, I'm going after Timmy.
Oh, it was great. Buddy Black tells a great story about that.
And we will as we get closer to that date, Hud, because it is a fantastic story. Here's Doug Drabek throwing a fastball. There it is. Look at Brett going out after Tim McClellan.
You know, those steps are very steep in Old Yankee Stadium coming up out of that dugout. He hopped 3 of them.
You can see the rage in his eyes.
Okay, Drabek is starting to have some success with that sinking fastball. That's what he wants now in this inning. You can see he's taking a little bit less off it. Around 92 is the perfect spot. 88 to 92 for the sinker.
That's fired through the right side by Jeff Francoeur.
Okay, now when you overthrow a sinker, it stays up in the strike zone and it's easier to hit. And that's exactly what Frankie got. Now, that could have been his four-seam fastball that he meant to get a little higher. But Francoeur was right on that one. He was on the outer half, great head position. Good piece there. He went with it, let the ball travel deep in the strike zone, and he's on board. 1 out.
Here is the guy who gave the Royals their lead at 1-0, Mike Moustakas, when he belted his second home run of the year in the second inning. Ball 1. Mike might have been looking for that two-seam fastball. Instead, he got the off speed. 1 ball and no strikes.
That pitch he hit out was a fastball on the outer half of the plate that he reached out. In order to do that, you got to get the barrel on there. You got to get your hands extended.
This score should not be surprising to Royals and Blue Jays fans who know the team intimately. 6 of the last 11 games have been decided by 1 run. 4 of the 7 wins by the Royals in those 11 games. The Royals have won 7 and the Blue Jays have won 4. 4 of those KC victories by 1 run. 2 of the 4 losses to Toronto have been by 1 run.
Well, if it's up to the Royals, they would like to be able to blow somebody out. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the Blue Jays and Kyle Drabek, but they've lost a lot of heartbreakers here in this homestand, and by golly, they want a no-brainer. They just want to get one out there and score a bunch of runs.
Go through that handshake line at the pitcher's mound when the game is over.
I don't want to make it so close, but Moustakas having a good AB here. 3-0. He's seeing the ball well. He's not jumping.
You green lighting him?
Absolutely.
So are you looking middle in, Hud, if he's getting the green light?
Your pitch is out over the zone and firm. It wasn't. Faded away.
Ball 4. That is the 4th walk by Drabek already.
Good take. So Moustakas is starting to see the ball better and is starting to feel a lot more comfortable by his last 2 ABs. Good approaches.
You just saw John Farrell, the skipper of Toronto, and he raved about Drabek in his last start, saying he was very good. His emotions were under control. He has a tendency to overthrow when he gets in dire straits, and he has a dire situation here with 2 on, 1 out. No chance to get the triple play this inning, but he can go for the double play, and here is Humberto Quintero. Toronto turned a triple play on Kansas City to end the 3rd inning.
Well, Quintero wants to keep his hands inside the ball. That way he can shoot it to right and don't roll over with that top hand.
Fouled it back to the screen. Strike 1.
But Quintero's been one of their best hitters. Now overall, the Royals are hitting .279 with runners in scoring position, which isn't that bad a mark. compared to the Blue Jays is 326 average with runners in scoring position.
He reached base safely 3 times on Wednesday with an RBI double, a walk, and he was also hit by a pitch. Takes that one low, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Quintero's batting .500 in these situations so far.
Butler grounded out. Francoeur singled. Moustakas walked. 2 on, 1 out. Royals by 1 on the Moustakas home run in the second.
Okay, Yunel Escobar, the shortstop, he's kind of messing with Francoeur, jockeying in and out, back and forth, trying to close to second base.
Fouled off the facing of the Royals dugout.
That's why they put those nets in front of dugouts, to save potential victims that might get hit in there that are players. I mean, for many years they never had those up there. And you know, personally, I liked it when I sat on the bench and could see with clarity and didn't have to look through any kind of screen. But you know what? A lot of guys aren't watching the game, and a foul ball comes in there, it hurts somebody. Now Francoeur, look at Escobar behind him.
A chopper taken care of by Lynn. They've got 1 and safe at first. Kansas City has him on first and third with 2 outs. Now good hustle by Quintero.
That was good hustle. The way you go 90 feet speaks volumes on how you play. Good hard slide into second base, but Quintero beat it out, and I like the call by first base umpire Marty Foster. He waited, saw the play, he saw he got there, and then he makes the call. It wasn't like he was anticipating before he made the call.
Mitch Meyer walked his first time up. Righty on the mound, lefty at the plate. That gets away. Here comes Francoeur. He will score, and Kansas City goes in front 2-0.
Royals will take him any way they can get him. John Farrell saying, hey, look, now let's try to control it the best we can. Now, Aaron Sevilla and their pitching staff, they led the league in wild pitches last year. Now, Aaron Sevilla is much improved this year behind the plate. He's done a better job of blocking balls, and you know that's very important when there's a runner at third base. You don't give him a free run. But that one bounced a little bit in front of the plate, and Aaron Sevilla, he just couldn't get his body in front of him.
Quintero now at second base. Kyle Drabeck, who has a history of being ultra competitive, sometimes lets his emotions get the best of him. Let's see if Meyer can make him pay for that mistake. Which takes low, 2 balls, no strikes. His next pitch will be his 70th of the night, and that's too many when you've not yet made it through 4. He went 7 1/3 innings in his last start to beat Baltimore. There's a strike. Okay, did not give in, Hud, with a fastball on a 2-0 count.
No. He backed off because he can feel Mitch Meyer. Mitch Meyer is due.
Another strike makes it 1-2. So he goes from an off-speed pitch to a 4-seam fastball that touches 94 in the radar gun.
I think Mitch thought that was a little bit up and out of the zone.
Well, if they go knees to letters, that's a strike. Try it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Okay, Quintero, he runs very well, so he's doing all he can to get as big a lead as he can, and then that secondary lead is the lead after the pitch. He doesn't have to get a big initial lead, but he wants to be able to give it everything he has to score.
In there, strike 3 called. Meyer is gone. So are the Royals, but Drabek's wild pitch gives KC a 2-0 lead.
In the 5th inning, how about that, folks? Hochevar's looking really good. Now, this pitch here with 2 strikes and a runner in scoring position has got to be swung on. Okay, that ball pitch track to show you that's right down the middle. I don't know what Mitch was looking for, but by golly, somebody's got to get a big hit with a runner in scoring position to give Luke all the cushion he can. Now, I'm not getting on him because he walked the at-bat before, but that guy needs some run support.
He has pitched brilliantly, allowing just the walk in his 4 innings of work, and it was a walk that led off the 4th inning. He also hit Jose Bautista back in inning number 1. So Hochevar pitching very, very well. And now in the 5th, he'll face Eric Thames, Brett Laurie, and Colby Rasmus. Eric Thames out of Santa Clara, California, 25 years of age. He's on a 6-game hit streak. And he'll take down low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Okay, looked like a little 2-seamer first pitch, and that big curveball second pitch.
That's a great pitch right there.
That's
almost unhittable, where it looks like it's a ball coming out of his hand.
Well, that's a changeup, and that's one of the most effective pitches that's thrown at the big league level today. You got a good one of those, and you got a pretty good fastball, you have a chance in a really good changing of speeds combination to be successful. Hochevar has been successful, but they're hoping he can win this game tonight. Forget about anything else, just get a win. And he's doing that so far. He's going right after these guys.
He went from 1-2 to 3-2. He does not want to lose the leadoff batter Eric Thames, who does have good speed. Hit sharply. Hosmer has it. And safe at first base. Hochevar was very late getting over to the bag, but Hosmer, I thought, would take the play, and it was almost seemed like he got caught in between. Should I give it up?
Well, obviously there was a little indecision there, but when in doubt, go ahead and take it yourself. Okay, great play there. That ball came up, he cradled it perfectly, but it looked to me like he was wanting to give that ball to Hochevar the whole time. Hochevar just a little bit late getting over there. Good head first slide by Thames. He wanted a base hit, and he got it.
That's the first hit of the game for Toronto, and it comes by way of a play that should have been an out. Brett Laurie, dangerous hitter.
Okay, Laurie was peeking down at third base with Moustakas.
Strike one.
This young player right here is probably the best athlete on his team. Strong, powerful, hustles, plays the game the right way.
He drew some comparisons when he was acquired to Dan Uggla, the talented second baseman in the National League with Florida, with Atlanta. Powerfully built. The ball seems to jump off his bat. Checks his swing on a pitch that just misses. They appeal. He did not go, and the count moves to 1-1 strike. Laurie has a 6-game hit streak going, hitting .333 in that time. He had a fantastic start at AAA last year, hit .353 with 18 home runs. And called up with Toronto and played well for the Jays, hitting 9 more home runs. Runner goes, pitch is swung on, hit high in the air, but not deep enough. Mitch Meyer has it measured, makes the catch. Back to first base, Eric Thames. The fan vote to pick the starters for this year's All-Star game in Kansas City has started. You can now vote for all of your favorite Royals players. Play your part by punching a ballot when you come out to a game, or go to Royals.com/vote to crown a Royal. Indeed, because it's going to be a fantastic time. Kansas City has hosted just one, and that was when they opened Kauffman Stadium back in 1973. I went to that game. I was, I think, about the 4th row behind the National League dugout, waiting for Willie Mays to come out.
A good snap throw there by Quintero. And Fizz, let's take you back a little bit there.
40th anniversary of the All-Star game. It was pretty special. I begged my dad for tickets. He got 2, one for me, one for him, and we went through the gates, and Cookie Rojas was there.
And folks, if you can get a ticket, you want to get one, because these are once in a lifetime things, maybe twice in a lifetime for this ballpark here, and I don't think it's ever looked more beautiful. Has it, Fizz?
It's been fantastic, and I think you said it was one of the most beautiful opening days you have ever seen
in any ballpark. The scoreboard is greatly improved, and the new way they design the outfield, where people can sit out there amongst the fountains now, and little K out in the back for the youngsters to go play a little bit of wiffle ball. I mean, this is a family ballpark.
The other thing that I'm most proud of is the fact that not the coastal towns, New York, Los Angeles, or San Francisco, or Seattle. There's this 3-0 pitch to Colby Rasmus, and he takes a strike. It's 3-1. But Kansas City, Kauffman Stadium, was the first stadium to put in solar power that generates enough power for the kitchen. And there they are. It's brought to you by KCP&L Solar Power. That is a great deal of pride, because that's the future.
Right.
Swing and a miss. Rasmus now has a full count with Luke Hochevar. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Okay, that's a fastball situation. Rasmus knew it was coming, but Hochevar and Quintero pulled the string on him. Being able to throw off-speed pitches and fastball counts for strikes is one of the keys for Luke. He might do it again here. His changeup's a good rollover pitch. I'm sure they'll be sending the runner at first. We'll see.
The pitch is swung on and belted foul. It'll stay 3-2. They were sending the runner, but it's interesting you bring up that changeup, and he's thrown a couple of good ones. He didn't throw it that often last year. He said he never felt comfortable with it. He said in the past it wasn't a pitch that worked for me, but he worked on it in the offseason so much that he said now I have the confidence of throwing it 4 times an inning.
That's a field pitch. And one, in order for him to be a 15 to 20 game winner, is going to have.
Runner goes, pitch is fouled off again. Tried again at 3-2.
Okay, a changeup, we've explained before, comes out of the same arm speed as a fastball, and that's what fools the hitter. And you might want to try that pitch again, or maybe just take something off his two-seamer and sink it a little bit on the outer half here. See if he can get a strikeout.
Wondering if they were going to throw over because he has gone the last 2 times. He has an average lead. Luke does bring it home. It misses outside, ball 4, so that's the second walk by Hochevar tonight. He walked the leadoff man in the 4th. This is only the second Blue Jay that has been in scoring position tonight. Bautista, with 2 out, was at second base after he stole second after being hit by a pitch. And now in the 5th inning, an infield hit by Thames. Laurie flied out to center field, but Rasmus has walked, and the batter will be number 9 hitter J.P. Arancibia. Now J.P. struggling to start this year. You can see his 108 at batting average, but he has power. He hit 23 home runs and drove in 78 last year. 26 years old, out of Miami and the University of Tennessee. He was so good as a high school player. Out of Westminster Christian High School, he shattered Alex Rodriguez's home run record with 17 in the year 2004.
Well, Hochevar wants to pitch down in the strike zone here. If he does make contact, it's on the ground. They got a chance to get 2. Average runner.
In the air, left center field. Meyer can't make the play. Coming around to score is Thames, making it a 2-1 ball game. So the volunteer from the University of Tennessee gets a base hit against a volunteer from the University of Tennessee and Luke Hochevar.
Yeah, pitch was elevated. Okay, Quintero wanted it down and on the outer half, and look where this misses. This missed by a whole bunch, saying hit me. So Hochevar wants to see if he can start working a little bit more down in the strike zone and trying to miss. Dave Island's going to come out with a good opportunity here as you see him cross the plate for their first run. Dave Island saying, okay, let's keep the ball down, keep it down, use your defense. Let's go. Come on, let's get out of this inning.
Luke Hochevar, Rex, has terrific numbers first time through the order. Opponents only hit 206 first time through the order, but you can see once they see him, it jumps up a little bit to 263, and then the third time through the lineup, 303, 333.
Well, that was just a mistake there, and it happens. That's what hitters look for. But if you're going to miss down out over the plate and not up, and then the guy hits it right at somebody. It's the whole idea.
2 on, 1 out. Tying run in scoring position. Batter is Yunel Escobar. 0 for 2 with a ground out and pop up.
Okay, Quintero just stepped up out of his crouch and gave some signs to let him know which base he was going to throw to in case they attempted a double steal there. That was to alert the infielders.
Ball 1. This has been by far Hochevar's roughest inning, and this is his 3rd time through the order. He's thrown 20 pitches this inning. Ground ball short. A 6, a 4, a 3 double play gets Hochevar out of a jam, but it gives up a run on a pair of hits. Luke Hochevar talking not only with Ned Yost and Dave Island, but you also see Nick Kenny, who's the head athletic trainer. Remember, in his last start, a line drive was struck by Carlos Santana of Cleveland off of his right ankle. That would be his drive foot.
And remember, he had a no-hitter going until that inning, and he was late getting to first base. So maybe they're checking to see, hey, you're a little bit late getting over there. Hosmer looked like he was going to give it to him the whole way, and the runner just beat him. So they're checking him out.
Kyle Drabek heading to the bottom half of the 5th inning of work. He will face hitters 9, 1, and 2 in Alcides Escobar, Alex Gordon, and Yuniesky Betancourt. Kansas City scored first in the 2nd with a solo home run. They scored another on a wild pitch that scored Jeff Francoeur in the 4th. Blue Jays came back with a run in their half of the 5th. Drabek overthrew that fastball and missed badly, and the count moves to 2-1 on Betancourt. Tim Collins is starting to warm in the KC pen.
Okay, we've noticed he's been drawing with his foot an X where his landing foot is. He draws a little X there to kind of, it's a mental guide for him.
X marks the spot.
He hit it there. Okay, he's been kind of making a little mark so he knows exactly where he wants to land. Now, Hochevar, I've noticed, when he goes out there, he clears that all off, smooths it off.
Escobar waves at a pitch well outside the strike zone, and that is strikeout number 5 for Kyle Drabek.
Yeah, that looks like
a handshake.
That looks like he's done for the night.
Well, he battled for 5 and gives his team the lead, and Tim Collins, the left-hander, starting to warm in the Royals pen. The starters have been on a roller coaster the first 2 weeks of the season. They were fantastic the first 6 games with a 1.85 ERA. As Gordon comes up, nobody on. He doubled his last time up.
Drabek's offense got him a run. He seems like he's a little different this inning, a little more confident. You know, that pitch there, Eric Cooper did not call a strike, and the one that he took with the bases loaded in the game against Verlander was 2 inches further inside, and he got called out on that one. So it just all depends on certain umpires and their strike zones. Some are a little bit tighter than others, but he's got a good eye, Gordon. But Seitzer wants his offense to be aggressive in the strike zone. That's their personality. They hit the ball. He wants them to stay aggressive.
He walked him on 4 pitches. 5th walk by Kyle Drabek. Here's our sprint call-in numbers. Who is your all-star selection? Text 432-432 and enter keyword Royals. 30% of you said Alex Gordon, but 56 have gone with the designated hitter, the red-hot Billy Butler, who came in hitting .375 with a pair of home runs and 9 RBIs. Lorenzo Cain, unfortunately, he's not there because he's on the disabled list. He's hurt on the first road trip of the year, making a fantastic catch in Oakland. Betancourt rips that one foul.
Well, tomorrow night we'll let you vote on the infielders and the catchers. Gordon at first base, a situational type base stealer. Not a prototypical type steal guy that's going to go out there and make an attempt every time he goes out there. At 17 last year, that's a pretty good number.
Betancourt ground ball 3rd. This looks like 2. It is. So Kyle Drabek gets out of trouble in the 5th. We'll see a new pitcher for the Royals when we come back as Hochevar's done.
To see how the pitching coach, newly guy Dave Island's helping. He comes in, and the next batter, double play for Danny Duffy. That was earlier in the season. Now he comes out there, first hitter again. He talks Hochevar into that ground ball double play. So Dave Island is in his first year here. His pitchers really love how he breaks them down on the video, and he talks to them, and he really was a guy that likes to work on mechanics and stuff. But they have so much respect for him. When he makes a visit, they go ahead and respond for him. I've seen that 3 or 4 times this year already.
So that's brought to you by Mazda. Now it's our Chevy call to the pen. And it's Tim Collins coming out of that bullpen, the 5'7" left-hander from Worcester, Massachusetts. See what he did Tuesday against Detroit and Saturday versus Cleveland when he was roughed up. Those were his last 3. Going back to April 11th at Oakland, he was outstanding. 4 strikeouts in just 2 innings.
He's got a nice fastball, mid-90s. Complements it a lot with that big bending curve, and a lot of left-handers freeze when they see that rainbow curve coming at them.
Ned Yost bringing him in, Rex, because they'll see a lefty, then a righty, then a lefty.
Throw an occasional changeup as well.
That ball stroked to left field. Alex Gordon going over and diving and making an excellent catch.
Gordon, excellent first step on this ball. Now, he didn't have to get fully extended, but he says, you know, I just want to make sure that that ball doesn't get by me and get to the wall. So he wears the gold for a reason. He's got skills. When your defense makes plays like that behind you, that's exactly what motivates a pitcher to keep trying to execute. It helps his confidence.
Now a dangerous batter in Jose Bautista. This guy found himself in recent years. He spent his first 6 seasons on 4 different teams and showed good power with 59 home runs in those 6 seasons, and then finally got the right instruction from Toronto, from Dwayne Murphy, his hitting instructor, and he took off, Rex, with 97 home runs in the last 2 seasons. And as he tells the story, I just started my swing earlier. There is a strike.
Well, whatever he's found, he wants to stay right on it. See, he's got a little pad there on his elbow because he sits inside the plate a little bit, and sometimes that's where he gets hit. But he's got a beautiful power swing, but Collins wants to keep it down on him.
Hit sharply. Escobar has it. Backhand, long throw. He's got plenty on it. 2 outs. Let's go to Joel.
Steve, Rex was talking earlier about what guys were doing on their off day, trying to clear their heads a little bit. For Danny Duffy, he was in search of some good barbecue. And that, of course, is one of the great topics of debate in Kansas City, always will be. Duffy last night tweeting, "My new favorite restaurant is a gas station. It's official." That will be a nod to Oklahoma Joe, a Smokey Joe, a Big Z, a gallon of onion rings, and said he ran the complex twice today. Unreal. So there you go, a vote for Okie Joe's.
We got to go run with Danny Duffy when he goes barbecuing. There are some fantastic restaurants in KC.
When we talk about location, it's important.
Are you talking barbecue or are you talking
I'm back
pitching?
I'm back on Collins and getting Bautista out there, and a big power hitter like that sees a ball out over the plate. If it's down, he's going to swing at it. But when it is, you hit it at the infielder. But if it's up around the waist, it ends up taking a drink in the ballpark here. So that's why location's important.
This guy has tremendous power, Adam Lind. Even though he had a down season last year, only hitting .251 with 26 home runs. 2009 was his real breakout year. That's when he hit .305 with 35 home runs and drove in 114. Then major league pitchers made an adjustment. Lind has to make an adjustment back. Good inning for Tim Collins. He gets the Blue Jays in order.
Royals lead the Blue Jays. Bottom of the 6th we go. The 6th is our Sonic Slam inning, and our contestant is Derek Mason from Raymore, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Derek will win $1,100. But if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the yard, Derek will win $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals. Here is Eric Hosmer, and this is the 3rd straight time that Doug Drabek has started him off with an off-speed pitch. This is the first time Hosmer has not swung at it. So Hosmer accepts the 1-0 and takes it outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Drabek has walked 5, but he has been helped out not only by a double play, but the first triple play turned in 33 years by Toronto's defense. There's a line drive to left, and it's a base hit for Eric. He finally has something to show for all those line drives he's raining over the place.
Shocked the house. He got a base hit. This guy has been all over the ball for the last 4 or 5 games and has nothing to show for it. And there he was, going with the pitch. Ball's on the outer half of the plate. Good play by the left fielder to keep it in front of him. But they're staying away from this guy because they know he has the power. They don't want to get him going. But hey, look, this is what you do. Seitz would be happy with this at bat here. Take the singles, start bunching them up, and the other will come. It's a byproduct of waiting and going with the pitch. Home runs come later.
That is Eric's first base hit since Sunday against Cleveland. Trying to get that average back to 200. Billy Butler's trying to get his average to 400. On the season, it's 360. Was at 375 to start the evening, but he's 0 for 2. Twice grounding out. In now. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Okay, that was the 90th pitch by Kyle Drabek. And he's got 5 walks on the evening, and Royals hitters have been doing a nice job being selective and making him throw strikes. Want to get some guys out there and somebody come through with a big hit, give him a little more breathing room.
Yeah, this could be his final inning unless he gets out of it quickly. Butler swings and misses. Now down in the count 1-2, and I say that not because of the total number of pitches, but more so he had to work so hard to get out of jams in the 2nd and 4th inning and throw a lot of pitches in those 2 frames. And remember, he is just 24, and most teams protect their younger pitchers.
Good sinking fastball under Butler's bat. That last pitch.
2-2, excuse me.
Aaron Sebia, as you see Perez getting loose in that bullpen, but Aaron Sebia, the catcher, we talked about how they led the league in wild pitches last year, and one of those Royals runs tonight was of a wild pitch, but he did a nice job of blocking that one and keeping it in front, keeping the double play in order.
Hosmer back easily, standing up. Butler would love to get a double. He has been fantastic in that department throughout his career. With a Major League Baseball leading 146 doubles over the last 3+ seasons. In his career, he has 191. Chopped foul. And he just turned 26 earlier this week, and he's already 8th on the all-time list. 191. The great George Brett has over 600 to lead everybody.
There's Don Wakamatsu. He's the 2nd year as the bench coach, and watch him. He's giving signs to the catcher, Aaron Sebia. He was a former catcher in his day, and he's letting him know what to let Kyle Drabek do, whether to throw over, whether to pitch out, or any of those things. Managers and bench coaches usually control the running game.
It's gone from 1-2, 3-2. So this is a real challenge for Kyle Drabek because Butler is a very smart hitter and he'll discipline where he wants that pitch.
Well, you can tell that Kyle Drabek is nervous about getting the ball up on him. So all the pitches that are missing are down in the dirt and low. And then if you're going to miss, that's the best place to miss. Billy Butler can hit.
Really skies it in the air left side. got under it too much. Eric Thames will take care of it. Hosmer halfway between first and second now retreats.
Well, Billy got his pitch there. He just missed it.
Here's Jeff Francoeur, struck out and single, scored the Royals' second run. That proves to be the difference right now. A 2-1 score as the Blue Jays have 1 run on 2 hits. The Royals have 2 on 4. Kansas City in a little bit of an offensive slide. Recent games, they've scored just 8 runs now in their last 4 contests, including tonight. They scored a total of 6 runs in that Detroit series and were swept by the Tigers, but played well, considering how well Detroit played, and they're in first place. Jeff due for a home run. He had a mighty rip there and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, the Royals gained some confidence against those first place Tigers because they played them. I mean, they focused on detail. They battled that team, and believe me, they'll have confidence going into Detroit in that next series they're going to be in. So, but first things first here, they've already forgotten that. We can talk about it, but they're going to try to execute and get a win for these fans here on this Friday night fireworks night in this beautiful ballpark. So first things first for this team.
Pitch out doesn't work.
Okay, that's Don Wakamatsu, who just showed you he's giving the signs over there. These guys, that's what he does, along with preparing information. That's the bench coach's responsibility for to the manager to prepare him with all the matchups and their game plan that particular night.
In the dirt, Hosmer was thinking about it. Then the ball stayed close. Arancibia retreated to first base. And Rex, Kansas City, a very good base running team the last 2 seasons. But this year they have stolen only 6 bases, been caught 7 times. Still, they're in the mind of their opponents.
Right. And Ned Yost doesn't want to hold them back either. Can't be afraid to make mistakes out there when you're running. But I like how they're being a lot more selective now. That's the 6th walk by Drapac, and that might be it for him.
They are calling for the left-hander with Mike Moustakas, a dangerous left-hander, coming to the plate, who has already homered tonight. Our Chevy call to the pen. We'll have the left-hander Perez when we come back.
Have fun. 2-1. The Royals have the lead. Are you hitting the road? Take the Royals with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Royals out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Royals.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. The new pitcher is Luis Perez, and you can see his numbers. They have been fantastic. He has yet to yield a run in 8 1/3 innings this year, and that ranks 6th in the American League. More importantly, he has held left-handed hitters hitless this year, 0 for 14. That's why he was called on to get this guy out, because back in the 2nd inning, he did this.
Got his team on the board with a nice, short, quick, powerful swing, and that's what the fans here we're looking forward to more of this season.
Perez's first pitch swung on, fouled over near the Royals dugout. Strike one.
Well, you talk about the success that Luis Perez has had, but you know that's not going to last forever. Someone's going to get a hit off him and he'll come back to reality. But really, the fact is that this kid, he's got some excellent stuff. Got a good, hard, sinking fastball, curveball, and his slider changeup combination is much improved. He used to have a big hip turn. Now he's just not doing it so violently, and it's controlling his arm swing. So he's going to be tough. He's a little bit herky-jerky in his delivery, but this guy pitches with a lot of confidence. He wants to stay down in the zone, and now him and Aaron Sebia can't get on the same page. And that pitch, the first one, he missed with it, and that was in, and Moustakas missed it. But he went ahead and got his team on the board with a home run. Might as well go ahead and get another big hit right here with some runners in scoring position.
He has 7 home runs in his career. Still looking for his first against a left-handed pitcher. Big swing and a miss. Nothing in 2. Right-hander waiting on deck, and Humberto Quintero.
Moustakas hitting .294 in situations like this with a runner in scoring position.
And he chases one.
Man.
Did he foul tip it off of the umpire, Eric Cooper? They are appealing to the third baseman.
That hurt. I mean,
out comes the skipper, John Farrell.
Okay,
he might be asking him, did Moustakas hit the baseball?
Well, Eric Cooper, he took a shot right here. Looks like nobody got a glove on it. No foul tip. And that's the replay. And it hits Cooper squarely right in the nose in that mask. And that, look at it, buckled him. I mean, that is quite a shot. So I'm sure that his wife back in Iowa, Tara, is watching this game. He's all right.
Well, they have ruled it a swing and a miss, not a foul tip, because Moustakas was standing there hoping that he would call it their way. There's Kyle Turner, one of the Royals trainers, talking with Eric Cooper to make sure he's all right. Well, that's why John Farrell came out. He wanted to make sure that it was a swing and a miss.
Well, he
wasn't a foul tip.
No, he offered at the swing, but nobody touched that ball.
Exactly.
It hit Eric Cooper squarely. Eric is into his 12th year as a big league umpire, and really a good one. Okay, watch this. He offered it the pitch, yeah, but Aaron Sebia didn't get a glove on it. That hit him square and buckled him like a prize fighter would go down, getting caught on the kisser. So way to go, Coop. Way to hang in there.
Luis Perez with a big strikeout, and now it'll be a lefty versus righty matchup. Fouled off, strike one. Perez is 27 years old, out of the Dominican Republic. Throws that good sinking fastball between 87 and 93 miles an hour. They tell us his command has been so much sharper this year. He also has a bit of a funky delivery.
Well, you call it funky, I call it herky-jerky.
Funky. And it almost seems like that 93
is a few miles an hour quicker.
He's a confident guy. He believes in himself. Kind of a high tempo guy that loves pressure situations. So Quintero down 0-2. I want to just kind of shorten up and see if he can find a hole.
Strikes out Quintero on 3 pitches. Marvelous work by Perez. Comes in, strikes out Moustakas and Quintero. Thoroughbred Ford. The best deals on new Fords are at thoroughbredford.com. And by AT&T Uverse, the new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit AT&T.com/free your TV. Rethink possible. Steve Physiak, Rex Udler with you at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Royals lead 2-1. We have a new puncher on the mound. That will be Aaron Crow out of the University of Missouri. This is game number 7. Has a .426 earned run average. His job, be able to get Encarnacion, Thames, and Laurie out. He'll face mainly right-handers in this inning.
Like the opponent's batting average down there, nice and low. He's got an excellent slider, and that complements that mid to upper 90s fastball that he'll use. And that slider's unhittable when he's on.
Edwin Encarnacion is the batter. 0 for 2. With good power, he belted 17 home runs last year and drove in 55. Crow has terrific stuff with that fastball and strikeout slider. There's the fastball at 96 miles an hour, and he gets back in the count 1-1. Aaron grew up a Royals fan, obviously, in Topeka, Kansas. Went to Washburn Rural High School, and he said he played a lot of travel ball in the Kansas City area, so he saw a lot of Royals games growing up. Inside and high, 2-1.
Okay, Crow has 4 pitches that he uses. Mainly when he comes in these situations, he stays fastball slider. He's got a change and a curve. We saw the change there. And there's that good fastball out of that nice, fluid, smooth delivery. I like his tempo always. This guy gets the ball, he gets the sign, and he throws it. Now hitters will say, hey, look, give me a little time, like Encarnacion's doing right now.
Tapper up the middle. Escobar has it. Quick toss in the dirt, and that is an error. He knew he had to get rid of it quickly because Encarnacion runs well. They are saying it is a base hit. No error.
Well, they were playing him to pull, Escobar was, so he had a long way to go, had a hard time getting it out of his glove, and that ball was a tough chance to pick for Hosmer. He stayed down low, and you know anything close, he's going to pick it, but that just bounced too far in front of him in order to pick it. Now, a big league shortstop like Cabrera, and he makes this play in his sleep. You know, if he makes a good throw there, they had him. Escobar. Excuse me.
And if the throw's on target, the runner is out. That's that they gave him a base hit instead of charging an error to the Royals shortstop. Batter will be Eric Thames, batting from the left side. The Royals have had runners in every single inning, yet have scored just twice on a solo home run by Moustakas and a wild pitch. They still have been struggling with men in scoring position on this homestand. Thames down on the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He reached on an infield hit and scored the Blue Jays' only run. The Royals went in front 1-0 in the second on Moustakas' second home run of the year. Scored in the wild pitch in the fourth. Blue Jays came back with a run in the fifth. Here's the pitch, swung on, lifted foul, out of play left side.
Tell you, being as cool as it is at the K tonight, that affects hitters. They like to. It's a warm weather game, but when you get a jam shot at 96, you'll feel that for the rest of the night.
And Encarnacion has stolen 2 bases, and yes, it's chilly. It's supposed to warm up, fans, tomorrow through Monday. So come out to the ballpark, 6 o'clock tomorrow, 1 o'clock Sunday, 7 on Monday. Pitch rides low and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Hey, fans, come see us at the gate. Steve Fiziak and myself will come out there and be there and handing out jerseys to people, and like to be able to shake your hand and meet you.
First 20,000 fans get those retro jerseys who come to the yard tomorrow. And it will be Luis Mendoza throwing for Kansas City against Drew Hutchinson, a Double-A pitcher who's been called up by the Jays. Duffy and Romero go on Sunday. Chen and Morrow go on Monday. Runner goes, 3-2, swung on, hit up the mound. And it's Escobar taking it, and this time getting the double play. He caught the baseball, tagged the runner as he came into him, and fired to first base for a 6-3 double play.
You want to know why your best athletes at shortstop? Here, watch this. Running to the ball, catching the ball, tagging the runner, getting out of the way of the slide, and throwing it to first base. And I caught him a little bit on his right foot, but he's able to get back on his feet and make that play. What a big pick-me-up. Look at, he got his foot a little bit, but look at, like a ballet master. He went ahead and stayed on his feet, made the plays. Okay.
That's why Dayton Moore locked him up for another 4 years, plus 2 more after that with club options, because they believe in his future.
Well, he wanted to make up for that play that was missed earlier, and he did.
Little roller back towards Crow. He'll underhand to Hosmer. An easy 7th inning. Royals want some more runs, but they got the D from Escobar. By the Missouri Division of Tourism. Go to visitmo.com to start planning your To Silver Dollar City in Branson. Silver Dollar City is an 1880-styled amusement park where the adventure of the past is combined with the high-tech thrills of the present. There are 6 world-class festivals, 24 rides, 60 unique shops, 12 restaurants, 50 live shows daily, and more than 100 resident craftsmen and artisans demonstrating American crafts. Visit the Culinary and Craft School, which features seasonal cooking and craft classes. We got to go, Hud. Ride that train.
I can't wait. Some Alex Gordon fans up there hoping for a big inning here.
He will hit third, as will go Meyer, Escobar, and Gordon in this bottom half of the 7th. The Royals need a big hit. They have 2 runs on just 4 hits, but they've also received 6 walks.
Got to make them walks hurt. Now Draybeck's out, and this kid Luis Perez is in. He's so far been almost unhittable this year.
One ball, one strike. He recorded the win on opening day with 4 hitless innings of relief at Cleveland. He's been their long man. He has been their setup man. He's just been terrific. Pulled foul by Meyer. It's 1-2.
Okay, they're staying in on Meyer. He's got a pretty good curve. We'll see if he tries to bend one on him here. Got to get a few guys on and get a big hit. Runners. Where was he? Tried to get him to swing at that one. We saw the power of Meyer in Oakland. Second series of the year. He bombed one out of there in right field. So if he gets one that he likes, he has that type of power to pull one. But really, just got to get some guys on.
Foul. It'll stay 2 balls and 2 strikes. That home run you're talking about in Oakland was his first in a span of 164 at bats, and it goes back to August 29th, 2010. Big guy, now 29 years of age, out of Petoskey, Michigan, in there because of the injury to Lorenzo Cain. But as we told you earlier, Lorenzo moving closer and closer to coming back, and he should be ready to go when he's off the disabled list. But he'll go to Northwest Arkansas for a rehab assignment tomorrow. Felipe Paulino will be going to Northwest Arkansas soon. He may have one more session in Arizona. Here's the pitch, and again it is tap foul.
Okay, Meyer has a nice at bat going here. Fouling off anything close. Open to find that one he can get on.
The 8th pitch coming in this at bat to Mitch Meyer. He's walked, he's struck out, facing a tough lefty. In there, strike 3 call. Joel, you got more on Lorenzo?
Yeah, I've been talking to him throughout his stint on the disabled list, and he really has felt all along that this was precautionary. Felt pretty good earlier in the week when I talked to him. He did pass all the tests yesterday. As you mentioned, Steve, he was going to be back out there again. He actually, when he made this catch the day after, felt like he was going to be fine. But this is a guy that needs his legs, needs to be able to run the way he does in the outfield and on the base paths. But I think we're going to see him back here pretty soon. He'll come off the disabled list, or is eligible to come off within a week. The other good piece of news on the injury front, Felipe Paulino threw 3 innings today in extended spring training, about 50-plus pitches, Ned Yost said, and they're expecting him to head out to Northwest Arkansas soon, too.
Thank you very much, Joel. As Luis Perez has looked flat brilliant coming out of the pen, striking out all 3 Royals that he's faced. Moustakas, Quintero, and now Meyer to open the 7th inning.
Well, while Lorenzo Cain's teammates were all off yesterday, getting away from the game, getting a mental break, physical break, he was out here running the bases. And he looked good. That's why they decided to send him out to play.
Outside. First man he's gone 3 balls to that he has faced.
This year, right-handers have only scratched a 182 average against Perez. Last year they hit 305 off of him, so he's working more on those secondary pitches, sliders and changes.
Right down the middle, 3-1. Alcides Escobar hit his first home run of the year off Max Scherzer into the Royals bullpen, where Greg Holland is now working. He'll be looking for something that he can drive right here. And he takes it back up the middle. The second baseman is right there, Kelly Johnson, to throw out Escobar. 2 down. Time for our AT&T trivia. Our AT&T trivia is right now in a traffic jam on the 70, and it just was able to clear the bad part of the traffic. And the question is, which current FSN analyst played for the most managers that are in the Hall of Fame? Well, my guess is my partner.
Well,
and it will be added to that list when Joe Torre goes into the Hall of Fame.
Well, you can't.
I'm just
give them any hints.
That's my guess. I'm like everybody else. I'm guessing.
But how about Al Hrabowski?
That's a good one. But
Tom
he's only
Green.
broadcast for Atlanta and St. Louis.
Yeah, but no, they talked about managers that he played for.
He was with Whitey, definitely.
How about Bobby Cox? Of course, Bobby's not in yet, is he?
Not just yet. Definitely will be going.
Oh, automatic. So why not just step back but be careful when you use that tongue depressor right there. You see what he's doing? Trainers, athletic trainers don't like to see that. That's why they have that in back of the mound in most places where you just clean your cleats off, because you do that with your finger. Your cleat cuts your finger, and now you got a cut on your pitching finger.
2-1.
Okay, Trevor Vance, 18-year groundskeeper here at the KA, does a wonderful job. But he also, in back of there, has that device right there. You see those at the golf courses. That clean the spikes off. Go ahead and use that. Don't use that tongue depressor. You'll cut your finger on that. That's what that's for. That's some nice home cooking that Trevor does.
And it tastes terrible after depressing your tongue.
No, but I'm just telling you that I've seen guys cut their finger and go on the DL doing that.
Great. The 2-2 pitch. Low and inside, 3-2. Alex Gordon has been on twice with a double and a walk. Royals had a golden opportunity in the third after he doubled, and Betancourt walked to lead off the inning, but Hosmer lined into a 3-6 triple play. First one that the Royals have hit into in 33 years. Gordon will walk for the second time. That's the 8th time this year that Alex has walked. Well, we guessed Rex. Let's see if we're correct. Yogi, Earl, Red Schoendienst, and Whitey Herzog you played for, and you also played for Joe Torre, and he's going to be going into the Hall.
And Terry Francona, if they ever put him in, he might.
You're exactly right. He won 2 world championships with the Boston Red Sox after they had not won one in 86 years. Hey, Dusty might go.
No.
Dusty was a good player, and he's been a good manager.
He might go, but I only played for him.
He has to win a championship
in spring training.
Doesn't matter. You played for him.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't count till the regular season. But how about Betancourt runs into one right here?
The 0-1. Unieski pulls it foul. Now he's down in the count. 0-2. Betancourt has grounded out, walked, and hit into a 5-4-3 double play. The Blue Jays came in at 6-6. The Royals at 3-9, trying to end a 7-game losing streak. Line to left field. That's a base hit. Gordon around third will be held there. Betancourt was thinking about second base, but a fine play by Thames in left to keep Unieski at first base.
It's one of the reasons why Betancourt's getting a little bit of a playing time over Chris Getz, although Getz wasn't feeling too well today. But still, he lays the bat out there. It was a little off balance, but the ball was elevated and he went down. Now, here comes Alex Gordon. He plays right in front of him. He's watching it. And he says, okay, if he bobbles it, I'm going home. But now he's watching the throw. So you come in. If the cutoff guy, the relay man, drops it, then he heads on. But you have to watch the ball. When you're a base runner, keep your eye on the ball and your third base coach.
Aaron Sebia went out to talk with Perez about Hosmer. And it might have been the fact that, hey, we have gone after this guy with first pitch off-speed pitches, 3 of the 4 at-bats. Let's go after him again.
Now, he missed one there, did Hosmer. That ball was there now, and not a left-hander's gotten a hit off of Perez all year. Why not now?
He's down on the count 0-2. Kevin Seitzer told us before the game, with 2 strikes, I want my hitters thinking opposite field.
So it helps you stay in longer. It helps you to not jump out and try to pull off, because typically a left-hander like Perez is going to try to bend the breaking ball away from it.
In there, strike 3 called.
That tells me just might have been guessing there a little bit. He throws it.
Over the Blue Jays, nice crowd out at the Boulevard Pub here at Kauffman Stadium after the game on Boulevard Royals Live. Jeff Montgomery and I breaking down a very interesting game. Lots of defense, including a triple play. We'll talk about Luke Hochevar and much more after the game. Around the rest of baseball in the American League, New York ruining Boston's centennial celebration. Texas and Detroit postponed. Minnesota won better than Tampa Bay. Baltimore and LA just underway. Same for Cleveland and Oakland, and Chicago and Seattle. That is our Panera around the league. And a quick question for Rex on Twitter from Matt in Springfield. Rex, does going from a tall pitcher like Hoch to a guy of lesser stature like Collins affect the hitter, 6'5" to 5'7"?
Well, it does a little bit depending on their style of pitching. Tell Matt that taller pitchers have a downhill plane, tougher angle. Shorter pitchers, the ball comes out a little flatter, might stay in the zone a little longer. Can you get all that in your digits? Can you retweet that? I know you're only allowed a certain amount of digits, but tell him yes.
So you want me to retweet yes?
There's 3 digits. Yes, it does affect a hitter.
Make sure you put a hashtag before yes.
You guys are Twitter experts.
But I will tell you, though, before 1968, the mound was 15 inches high. They lowered it after Bob Gibson had 13 shutouts and pitchers were dominating. They lowered it to 10 inches.
And a 1.12 ERA. Here is Greg Holland, 5 feet 10 inches at Greg Holland, and he will face hitters 8, 9, and 1. So eventually they will have to face Bautista, Lind, and Encarnacion again.
Holland somewhere in between, what, 5'7" and 6'5"? Yeah, look, but when you have electric fastball like Holland and Collins, it's mid-90s, it's not easy for any hitter.
Rope to right, fair ball. That's trouble as Rasmus leads off with a 2-base hit. Kansas City has had their opportunities. They've received 7 walks. Here's a look at that last fastball that got too much of the plate.
Now that was up and in, and a good job of Rasmus by pulling his hands in. He pulled his hands in and barreled it. That's good hitting there. I don't think that was necessarily a mistake. That's just good hitting, and that's exactly what they needed now. The corners are coming in, thinking that it's possible that Aaron Sevilla will be bunting here. But I don't know why you would bunt a good power hitter. And he's down in that number 9 hole because he's gotten off to a little bit of a slow start. But the Royals are pulled in on the corner, so they think that something could happen here.
Holland is a strikeout pitcher. He needs one, but he misses on his first 2 pitches. It's 2-0. Greg Holland had a terrific year last year, going 5-1 with a 1.8 earned run average, struck out 74 in only 60 innings. Time called.
Okay, Holland's got good fastball, mid-90s, and a split finger. Slider occasionally, but just wants to keep the ball out of the middle here in a fastball count.
3-0.
Didn't miss by much, but it's a good place to miss, out and away.
Yeah, but you're working towards trouble because you turn the lineup over to the hotter hitters. 1, 2, and 3 to follow. Aaron Sevilla does take a strike. It's 3-1. Greg Holland did display very good command last year with only 19 walks in those 60 innings and only allowed 37 hits. Three and 2.
Coming right back at him now. You can't give him one down the middle. You have to stay on a corner, pick a corner, and really, if you have command, go ahead and throw that slider here. Looks like he has. Dismissed with one earlier in the count.
Hit up the middle, base hit. This will tie the game at 2. Quite frankly, that was a great piece of hitting because that was a breaking ball that was down out of the strike zone, and Aaron Sevilla stayed with it and singles in the tying run.
Okay, he didn't go with a straight fastball. He went with a breaking ball, and you could see how Quintero was going to reach down and catch that ball down low to the dirt. Had a good bite to it, but that's, you're right, Fizz. That's just a nice piece of hitting there. He went with it. If he tries to pull that ball, he rolls it over and hits it to Escobar.
We'll see a pinch hitter in Rajay Davis, who has exceptional speed. Pinch runner in Rajay Davis. Escobar the batter. Ball 1. Kansas City had a 2-0 lead. Toronto has come back to tie it, but the Royals have not hit in the clutch. They are 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position tonight. They've had base runners every single inning.
Davis, he'll run. He ripped off 34 bags last year for Toronto.
2 balls and no strikes, and Holland is really working in dangerous territory. He fell behind Aaron Sevilla and then had to fight back to get back in the count. And Aaron Sevilla hit a nice slider for a base hit that tied the game with Rasmus scoring. He's not recorded an out yet. He's not thrown a strike yet to Escobar, and out comes Quintero to talk with him. Dave Island has to be a bit concerned with the way things are going in this 8th inning. Royals saw Detroit come from behind in the 7th inning to beat them on Wednesday. Saw Detroit come from behind to beat them on Tuesday in the 8th.
Escobar, he's a very talented shortstop. He's a powerful kid. He's got a little pop in that leadoff spot. But I would not expect him to swing 3-0 here.
Wow, this is rare for Greg Holland. He usually has outstanding command. Does not right now, and here comes Dave Island for a visit.
Let's see if Super Dave Island can talk him into rolling a double play or something like that, like he has been doing.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Corporation and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Royals. Well, the first time Greg Holland pitched in the big leagues, he was in a dire situation, and Ned Yost came out to visit with him and said, "Are you nervous?" And Greg said no, and he said, "Who wants to make a double play?" And Escobar goes, "I do." So he goes, "Okay, Greg, just keep the ball down and let's get the double play."
Well, they may not.
Next pitch, ground ball short, 6-4-3 double play, out of the inning. 6-4-3 double play would certainly help right here in the 8th.
It was betting.
But right here, I would imagine that John Farrell will have Kelly Johnson bunting.
Maybe he'll pop up into a double play.
Never know, but right here where the Blue Jays are, with this situation and nobody out, you got a second baseman there, should be able to bunt. He's in that second slot. You would expect him to give himself up and move the runners. Increases the percentages of scoring a run. He's got to get the ball down.
He still can't find the strike zone. Count goes to 2-0. Kelly Johnson yesterday with a single that snapped an 0 for 14. He is 0 for 2 in this one, robbed of a hit on a fine catch by Alex Gordon in left in the 6th. Juwan, nobody out, 1 run in. Balked. Wow.
Well, Escobar broke to second base behind the runner, and maybe that rattled Holland a little bit. But now Johnson doesn't have to give himself up to move the runners. Holland did it for him. Yep, and he moved. You see, when you're on that rubber and you come set, you can't jerk like that, and that's exactly what he did. So Eric Cooper, home plate umpire, made the call there. And actually, both umpires, when it's at second base, they reacted at the same time.
Greg Holland has not recorded an out yet in this 8th inning. The leadoff double by Rasmus, the single by Aaron Sebia, the walk to Escobar, and now they will intentionally walk Kelly Johnson to get to Jose Bautista, a guy who has only hit 97 home runs the last 2 years. So you've got to be able to throw a quality strike to this guy, Jose Bautista.
So you can get out of it if you execute your pitches, and Holland has that stuff, the kind of stuff to do that with a strikeout and maybe a double play. I mean, it can be done, but it's just a fact that he's really not on his command game.
Wow, not at all. And these are the guys that must get the job done, and Collins did his job with a shutout 6th. Crow did his job with a shutout 7th, but Holland, whose responsibility is the 8th, protecting leads, has not. And now he misses wide with a fastball at 95 and has fallen behind 2-0.
Okay, well, Bautista is, you might have to wipe the saliva off of his mouth because he's right where he wants it.
Ooh. And he took a vicious rip at that fastball at 95, but Holland located it perfectly on the corner at the knees. Bases are full of Blue Jays. Aaron Sebia at third, Escobar at second, Johnson at first. Line drive base hit right field. This will score 1, And now Toronto goes in front 3-2. Well, I believe we've seen enough because left-handers coming up in Lind, and Mijares has been warming down in the Kansas City pen. Ned Yost waiting for the announcement of Lind, and here comes Ned.
Well, he broke his bat. He stayed away from him, and at least one's better than four.
Greg Holland, one of the top relief pitchers in the game last year, has a meltdown in the 8th at Kauffman Stadium. Faced 5 batters, didn't get one of them out. Experienced those days, and Greg Holland certainly experienced one tonight where he did not have his best command, and this was the result.
Okay, this was the pitch before it. 2-0, guy who's hit 97 home runs the last 2 years. Now, this is what Holland did. Now, he wanted to stay out of the middle of the plate on that guy, and I can't blame him. And Batista was looking for that fastball all the way. It broke his bat and knocked in one. Now, we'll see if Mijares can pick up here and hold him with nobody out, bases loaded. It's not an easy situation for Mijares.
Royals infield in on the edge of the infield grass. There's a chopper to Escobar coming home. They've got one, and that's all they'll get.
Good try by Quintero. That was a good try. I didn't think they would have a play at all at first base, and he made it close. So there you go. Escobar, watch it. In this play here, set your feet and throw it home and get the out. There you go. Make the first out for sure. And Marty Foster made the correct call at first base. He was safe by just barely a couple inches.
Now it'll be a lefty on the mound, a righty at the plate, and Edwin Encarnacion, who is 1 for 3 in the game, reached on an infield hit back in inning number 7. This is the 7th batter for Toronto in this 8th inning, and just one man out. But Mijares gets a nasty strike on the inside corner to Encarnacion.
It was a nice get me over curve for strike one. And he wants to keep everything down and use his infielders and try to get out of this with a pair. So when in doubt, talk it out. That's what they're doing here. And then there's nothing wrong with that. But everything needs to be down, not up, if you want to get out of this inning.
He's only been there 13 times in this young season, but hitting .385. Betancourt at second base. Escobar at short, pinched in a little bit, looking for the double play. Hosmer having to hold the runner, is off the bag, even with the bag, and there is a fly ball struck to left. Gordon comes in, makes the catch, brings it home. It is cut off. 4-2 Toronto. sacrifice fly by Encarnacion is successful.
Ball was elevated a little bit. Gordon had to go to his left towards the center, so he didn't have a really good angle to show off that good arm he's got. Tough angle to try to throw a runner out. Brian Butterfield, third base coach for the Blue Jays, one of the best in the business, said, look, he didn't like the angle Gordon had, so I'm going to send the runner.
And Jeff Mathis will be the pinch hitter for Eric Thames. Jeff Mathis acquired from the Angels in the offseason, a fine defensive catcher, but he only hit 174 for the Halos last year.
But this year in 9 at-bats, he's got 4 hits.
And a home run. Strike one. That ball stroke to left. On comes Gordon. He'll make the catch. That will end the inning. But a big inning it is for the Blue Jays as they score 3 times to claim a 4-2 lead over KC. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Mike Moustakas with his second home run of the year. Blast into the Toronto bullpen that gave the Royals a 1-0 lead. They would improve it to 2-0, but then they would see the Blue Jays come back with a run in the 5th and 3 in the 8th. Rajai Davis stays in the game after pinch running and scoring a run. He'll be in left field. The new catcher is Jeff Mathis. And on the mound, we will see Francisco Cordero, former closer with the Texas Rangers and other teams. Cincinnati last year, 327 career saves, but he is their setup man now for Sergio Santos.
Tell you, the offense of the Royals would like to see another Miller Lite moment. A couple bloops and a blast would do it.
Butler needs a hit to keep his 8-game hit streak stretched to 9. Takes up high, ball 1.
Cordero in his 13th year sinks his fastball. He's got a great slider. His fastball still can get up to 95. He's mainly in the low 90s.
This is his 13th big league season now at the age of 36. He's been with Detroit, Texas, Milwaukee, Cincinnati, and now the Blue Jays.
The Royals haven't had any trouble getting base runners tonight. They've been having trouble getting the big hit. That's what they're missing.
They have 5 hits in the game. They've also received 7 walks, but they've struck out 9 times, and most of them with runners on. They're 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Butler takes a strike. It's 3-1.
And some of those strikeouts were looking with runners in scoring position. You got to swing the bat with runners out there.
A little bit high, ball 4. So the tying run will be coming to the plate, and the bat of Jeff Francoeur, who's looking for his first home run of the season. A big fly would tie the game, and Jeff did belt 20 last year. He's a good fastball hitter, and Cordero has a good fastball. The Royals have received 8 walks. 8 walks, Rex, and not one of them have scored.
Not good. Typically, walks haunt you and they make you pay when you give them up, but Royals haven't been able to make them pay.
Blooper towards right, but backing up the second baseman Kelly Johnson, who is there to make the catch for out number 1.
Wade Johnson broke on that ball. I thought it might have had a chance to bloop in there, but turned around and was able to get underneath it.
Here's Mike Moustakas. His homer, his walk, struck out in this game. Tremendous power hitter in high school in Southern California. Royals drafted him in the first round. He has performed well at every single level. And he's won championships at every single level. Still a reminder, he is just 23.
Anything out of over the plate? As good as he's going tonight, he's got a chance to hit it hard.
2 balls and no strikes. Well, he has a fastball count here. And as you talked about, Rex does have that slider and changeup that he's confident in. Strike. He did not give in. He did not throw the fastball, and that's the one that Moustakas was looking for.
He snuck that changeup in a perfect spot. Wait.
We had a good swing there, but fouled it back our way. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Time called. Moustakas thinking that Cordero is taking way too much time, trying to get on the same page with Jeff Mathis, who is flashing the signals to him. Again, he had an aggressive swing, but fouled straight back. He'll try it again at 2-2. Ryan Lefebvre had no shot at that baseball. He has already caught 1 foul ball tonight. He's hoping a fan in deep right field will receive this one, but not this time. It's just a swing and a miss. After he fell behind 3-0, Rex, he threw him nothing but sliders and changeups.
Right. It's a good changeup right there. And a veteran guy like that, he has total command of that pitch, and he knows what a hitter's looking for, and especially a young hitter like Moustakas has got power.
2 outs for Humberto Quintero. Quintero 0 for 3 with a pair of Ks. Fouled back.
Cordero is the kind of veteran that has an arsenal of pitching weapons that he can throw at the hitters. He might even mix in a different arm angle.
Popped up right side. Bautista can't reach it. Quintero still has life. Boy, Jose really slammed into that wall. He'll readjust his spikes and head back to right field.
He did, but this ballpark's got nice padding in and around it, and also right there on the tarp there, it's all covered up there to protect the players. And that's as good an effort as you can ask for from your team leader. So Quintero's going to get another chance.
Butler led the inning off with a walk. Francoeur popped up. Moustakas struck out. The count 0-2 to Quintero. Inside, did not go. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
When a pitcher has a hitter down on the count like that, he has the ability to set up pitches. And that was a setup pitch for this next one coming. Jeff Mathis, an excellent receiver behind the plate, knows how to set up hitters.
Squibs it to first base, picked off by Lind. That will be the inning. We head to the 9th. It's Toronto 4 and Kansas City 2. Becomes the new Royals pitcher. His job, keep him quiet in the 9th and let the bats heat up in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Bruce Coleman threw 4 pitches against the Tigers to record the 1 out Wednesday in Detroit's victory. Royals swept by Cleveland and swept by Detroit. They have been in a bit of an offensive slump, just 8 runs in these 4 games, and Coleman will face Brett Lawrie, Colby Rasmus, and Rajai Davis.
Okay, Coleman comes from that 3/4 sidearm angle with a good fastball. He's got a little run on it. Sweeping slider.
Lawrie with a 6-game hit streak on the line. He is 0 for 3. The strikeout, fly out, and ground out. Coleman, 1 ball, 1 strike. He opened the season with Omaha, much like he did last year. Pitched very well with an ERA under 2. But after the Royals bullpen was chewed up over the weekend by the Cleveland Indians, they needed some help, so they didn't wear out their pen against Detroit, and Coleman was called up from the minors. The 2-1 outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Well, it's another close one between Toronto and the Royals. I told you, in 6 of their last 11 games, the Final margin has been 1 run, and this one a 2-run difference, with Toronto leading 4-2. John Farrell trying to end a 2-game losing streak, while Ned Yost is trying to cut into a 7-game tailspin. Fouled off.
And the Royals are 0-4 so far this season in 1-run games.
Hit well, center field. Mitch Meyer going back at the warning track, is there to make the catch for out number 1. So it's just a long, loud out for Brent Lawrie.
Kid's a strong guy. He's a really talented player, and he has not even begun to mature as a player. But that ball's right down the middle, and just got under it a little. Okay, Colby Rasmus now hitting. Came over from the Cardinals last year and felt a little bit pressure by La Russa to produce more, so he was a real pull hitter, and he had a big dramatic high leg kick there when he would lift it up. Well, Dwayne Murphy, their hitting coach, said, hey, look, let's control that lower half a little better and don't lift it up as much and stay within yourself. So they batted him down in the order a little bit, and he's starting to slowly come around. He said he feels much better. And he's got a lot of talent as a hitter. Has long strides in center field and can go get them.
Former first-round pick of the St. Louis Cardinals. Down in the count 0-2. The pitch, he checked to swing. They appeal. He did not go, and the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Colby Rasmus. Colby at .246 with 11 home runs with the Cardinals last year, and 173 with 3 home runs with Toronto. Coleman working from the extreme third base side of the pitching rubber, trying to not only get a inside angle, make it difficult on right-handed batters, but be able to ride that fastball with an angle in on left-handed batters and jam them.
Sweep that breaking ball in there from the back door like you try to do there.
Royals play him to pull. The 2-2. Just barely misses outside, and the count has gone full. 3-2. Straight up in the outfield. You can see where Betancourt is in the outfield grass, a good 10-12 feet out on the grass.
Yep, they're expecting him to try to yank it, pull it off.
Skies one to right field. Francoeur drops back, has it measured about 10 from the warning track. He is there and makes the catch for out number 2. Coleman gets the first 2 outs. Rajay Davis is walking to the plate. Royals came into this game struggling with their offense, second to last in runs scored, averaging under 4 runs per game. But lately it has been the lack of efficiency with runners in scoring position. In their last 4 games, including Detroit, the Royals just 4 for 26 with men in scoring position. They've had men on in every single inning of this game, but scored just 2 runs. Davis squares to bunt, but takes a strike as he misses. 1-1.
Ned Yost likes Coleman because he's a strike thrower. And his fastball comes out of a deceptive arm angle. But he's got to be able to mix in sliders too, because it looks fairly straight. But down there it looks good.
Does Hosmer have a chance? No. It's into the photo well, or the luxury box on the field level, I beg your pardon.
Nice play by the fan. He one-handed that. Give that fan a contract. Watch this play. Hosmer knew he ran out of the room, but look at this guy. He's got a beer in one hand and a ball in the other. Man, that guy, he's got skills.
That is impressive.
Man.
And then Davis drops a base hit to right field. So with 2 out, wouldn't be surprised if they send Davis to try and build that lead to 3. Get him into scoring position with 2 out with a guy like Escobar coming to the plate. He's more of a singles hitter than he is a home run hitter or an extra base hitter. He does have 1 big fly this year, hit 11 last year. And Davis has very good speed, and now Quintero will go out and talk with Coleman about just that. Sergio Santos has been warming up in the Toronto bullpen. He'll be coming on for the 9th inning. The Royals would love to go enter the bottom of the 9th down by just 2.
They'd much rather have the lead. But it's not going to happen so far.
Davis does not go, and punching it foul is Escobar, strike 1. Coleman is quick home. Now he's working from the middle of the rubber with nobody on. He was working from the third base side of the rubber.
Really, I think, you mentioned it about where they stand on that rubber. And, it just gives them a different angle coming in on certain hitters, certain ways. But I can tell you as a hitter, Fizz, I never one time looked at the guy's foot where he was on the rubber. It just didn't bother me none. That's not where my focus wanted to be. But for pitchers, they think they can get an angle whether they start on one side or they stay on the other side. Now, Coleman was on the far right-hand side. He was over here earlier. Now he's moved back in the middle. And it's all about different angles coming in to the plate from one side to the other.
Davis does not go, and the pitch is fouled back. 0-2. Coleman so quick home that Davis is not getting a great read and jump.
Well, Torey Lovello, first base coach of 2 years, he has that stopwatch there, and what he's timing is when Coleman comes set and then he breaks his hands, he starts his clock, and when the catcher catches it, that's what they get the time on.
Royals pitch out. The throw is in time. Ned Yost guesses correctly. Now KC needs some offense as they trail 4-2 going to the bottom of the 9th. And then staying for the fireworks show after the game. 4-2 our score. Blue Jays have the lead over the Royals. The new pitcher is Sergio Santos. He is the closer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Was that man for the Chicago White Sox. He just returned from the paternity list because he went home to be with his wife, who gave birth to their third child, second son, Troy Gabriel. Congratulations, Sergio. And the Royals hope to give you a wedding gift of 3 runs, or a birth gift of 3 runs.
I knew what you were trying to say.
Exactly. You speak physiognomy.
That's right. Hey, but you know what? This guy here is very talented. He got a lively fastball. He'll go mid to upper 90s, slider and a change. And his pitch is his slider. But if you have a little time here, Fizz, you need to tell the folks about this guy's story. He's a very special guy. I mean, he's a tremendous athlete, no question.
We used to read about him every day in the newspapers in Southern California about his exploits at Modern Day High School in football and baseball. But he was more a catcher and shortstop, pitched a little bit growing up. But then when he was drafted, he was an infielder, and not just for 1 year, but for like 6 years. He's now 28 years old and a closer, because he can throw hard at 95 miles an hour.
Right. You know, he just had the knack to be able to put a little spin on that ball and to throw it hard, and he made the transition in a year.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
So he's just coming up there and going to give him some hard fastballs to hit. Now maybe we'll see that slider that it's a natural slider for him. But, you know, that had to have been an interesting deal. You know, he had 248 average and hit 72 home runs in those 6 years in the minors. It wasn't like he wasn't that good.
Meyer tried to check his swing in. Did not go, so another chance for Mitch. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Royals, though, don't just want base runners. They've had base runners in every single inning, yet they've scored in the 2nd and the 4th on a solo home run and a wild pitch. 0 for 6 with men in scoring position. The 3-2. A swing and a pop-up. Mile high left side, backing up Brett Laurie, and he'll make the catch as he falls down. Still, it is 1 out in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, man, that fly ball could have brought down some rain. It never came down. Laurie's saying the same thing. He's saying, wow, that thing almost dropped. And had it dropped, Mitch Meyer was hustling all the way. He was standing on second base. You don't see a routine fly ball do that to a big league infielder very often.
Now Alcides Escobar 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. And they'll turn the lineup over to the top of the order, and Gordon, Betancourt, and Hosmer. Strike 1. Santos, a big guy at 6'3", 240. He was Arizona's first-round pick in 2002 out of Modern Day High School, one of the outstanding athletic schools in Southern California. Bounced around a bit, as we talked about on the infield, and became the closer for the Chicago White Sox last year, and did quite well with 30 saves and struck out 92 batters in 63 and a third innings.
Well, you got to have more than just a fastball to strike out that many big leaguers. His slider is his pitch.
Ooh, almost hit Escobar in the head. That'll get your attention.
Ooh, yeah, back off of that one. This one got away from him a little bit here. And Escobar got plunked by a Verlander fastball right above his right elbow in the meat of his forearm. He's got a little pad on his elbow right there that's facing the pitcher, but thought he got out of the way of that one.
Line drive, base hit into right center field. Escobar sharply around first. Here's the throw to second base. It's a double for Escobar. The Royals have life in the ninth.
Okay, third double of the year, and that was a leg double. Well placed. He saw it all the way. The ball's fastball in the outer half, kept his head down, and now he's heading. He sees Bautista in right. Ball kind of took off on him. He says, you know, I can make that. Good speed. Ned Yost and the Kauffman Stadium crowd here and looking for a hero in a bad way.
Why not Alex Gordon? Hit 23 big flies last year. Digs in from the left side. In the dirt. Escobar was thinking about going, but a great block by Jeff Mathis. They're deep in the outfield. They're back on the infield. They play Gordon to pull on the infield, but straight up in the outfield as he goes from foul line to foul line. Alex takes a strike. It's 1-1. That time he planted a 97-mile-an-hour fastball on that outside corner, just dotting the black. Outside, 2-1.
Yeah, you know, throw an occasional changeup in there as well, and that's what that was, just to kind of give the hitter Gordon a different look. Escobar, his run's important, but it doesn't mean much, so he's got to be careful out there not to get too far off. I don't think there is any concern of them trying to pick off, because most closers don't mess with guys on base.
3-1. Fans want that tying run on. Betancourt would represent the game-winning run. He's waiting on deck. Gordon, a very good fastball hitter.
Ooh, man, he had a rip on that one. Little bit out of his wheelhouse, but he had a nice pass at it. Okay, watch it now. Look where Mathis is looking for the ball. He wants it down low, but it was up a little bit and just a little bit away from him. Pitchers make mistakes, and that's what hitters look for.
Swing and a miss, and down goes Alex. So the Royals down to their final out.
Slider, and a good one. Little bit of a break, maybe about 2 inches, but it started out, and to a hitter that spins so tight on that ball and it comes in, it looks like a fastball, and then last minute it dips down. That's what makes it so hard to hit. Square up.
Now Betancourt. Escobar is going, and they will let him take third base. No reason to make a throw. In the dirt, blocked nicely by Jeff Mathis. He blocks the ball as well as any catcher in the game.
No, there's
very athletic.
No one ever has questioned his defensive skills. That's for sure. Got a little bit of time making some consistent contact with the bat, but he's excellent behind the plate. Hard to get one back through him. But Betancourt here, just peck away. Bring Hosmer to the dish. See if you can get him a lousy single.
Strike, 2-1. It will be Mendoza against Hutchinson. Mendoza, a veteran. Hutchinson called up by Toronto from Double-A. There's a line drive base hit to left field.
Royals still have life. Checking in is Escobar to make it a 4-3 ball game. So Hosmer has a chance.
All right, now Chris Getz will get a chance to pinch run and possibly get a tie. Nice swing there. That was very well controlled. He didn't try to do too much. That's a well-placed fastball down below the knees. And when you're not trying to hit a big home run, you make contact like that. Betancourt did a good job there.
Getz running for Betancourt because his right ankle still is not 100%. Getz, quite frankly, a better defender at second base than Unieski. And Unieski is a good defender, but Getz a terrific defensive defender. And the Royals hoping that they'll either defend in the 10th or win it right here. Eric Hosmer.
They've struggled, the Blue Jays have, in the 9th inning so far this year. So keep the pressure on them. Getz to second base. Go ahead.
Toronto has been outscored 17-5 in the 9th inning this year. Why not make it 19-5? Hosmer took a rip. It's strike one. Eric tonight 1 for 3. Getz goes. The throw to second base. Whoa, that was a close play. You don't want to get thrown out for the last out of the ball game, trailing by a run. Chris took a chance. It paid off. Now a base hit can tie the game.
Fizz, they've lost 7 in a row. They got to make a chance. They got to make their own chance here. Mathis, quick release from his knees, and Getz to have a guy that could come in the 9th inning and rip a base off and get in a scoring position. That's huge. You got to take a chance. They need a win.
The 0-2. Hosmer chops it up the middle. Taken care of by Johnson. That's the ball game. Beats the Royals by a final of 4-3. Santos does get the save. It's a nervous one, but it's another one-run game between the Blue Jays and Royals. In the last 12 games, these two teams have played to one-run decisions 7 times.
Wow. So close. They've just got to tighten up their game and get some big hits.
The losing streak extends to 8 games. We'll be right back.